What up? What up? What up? We got a packed show tonight, man. We got two great guests that we have coming on, and also we're gonna talk about that game against the Eagles. It wasn't as bad as we thought it was gonna be. We thought it was gonna be a massacre, but it wasn't. And Justin showed us why he is the future of this franchise. That dude is ridiculous, man. But shit, let's go.
You are now rocking with the Chicago Clubhouse Podcast, where they think they know everything, but honestly, they don't know shit.
These summer league games and they tell you about these new up and coming coaches.
I think we should get rid of every motherfucking owner in Chicago.
Enzo and Caruso, both when they are on the court, are like your defensive generals.
But they need to get that strong safety who's not scared to hit somebody.
They really don't know shit.
What's up, everyone? What's up, man? Welcome to the podcast where we think we know everything, but we don't know shit. But what we do know is Sunday against the Eagles, the Bears made it a competitive game. Yes, I said competitive, foul mouth. They only lost by 5. So it was a competitive game. And like I said, Justin Fields, he showed us why he is the future of this team. That dude is crazy, man. He's crazy. You know, he takes a lot of hits, but he pops right back up. Like, what? Let's go. It was cold as a motherfucker, man. It was cold as hell on Sunday. I was there. I had layers on, though. I was layered up. And I had ski pants on. It was that damn cold. I had long underwear under my ski pants. Then I had like 5 layers up top. I was prepared, and I had the hot hands that I bought at Walgreens. You know, you can shake those up, and they get hot. They're cold air activated. So when you're out in the cold, you open that up, put it in your pocket, keep your hands in your pocket. Man, you good. Your hands will stay nice and warm. So I was prepared for it. So, and speaking of cold football days, Sunday is going to be even worse. Yeah, against Buffalo, man, it's going to be like, it's supposed to be like 9 degrees. And on top of that, it's supposedly it's going to snow. It's going to be a blizzard. And they're saying 12 to 18 inches. I don't remember the last time I seen 12 to 18 inches of snow. Pause. Of snow. 12 to 18 inches of snow. I don't remember the last time I've seen that. But shit, if that happens, it's going to be slippery because the snow is going to freeze. It's going to be just a big fucking mess. But you know what? I'm here for it. I'm here for it, as I'm sure most of you all are. If you are football fans, if you're Bears fans, shit, you've seen it before. And you're used to this weather. So I don't want to hear shit like, it's too cold. It's too cold. They should be playing. It's too cold. They're going to freeze. Nah, they're gladiators. This is football. God damn it. So let me bring my guys in, man. First man up, my man, the stat man, who knows every single stat from every single team, basketball and football, since the 80s and 90s. my man 50 grand, my man JB.
What up, T?
Hey B, what's good, man?
Man, chilling, man. Chilling. How you be?
I'm good, man. Can't complain too much, man. Just enjoying this cold weather. I put that in quotes. Enjoying.
We'll see if we enjoy it Friday. If schools are closed, then we'll really get a party.
Oh, schools may close, right?
May. They ain't closed
Yeah,
yet.
they may close. Because these Chicago public schools, man, they stay open until the minute the snow gets this high above your head, then it'll be like, okay, we're gonna close the school.
And we on 2, 5, 7, 9, and 12, like, nope.
Yeah, man. So how you doing?
Doing good, man. Stumbled upon this.
Oh shit! What is that? That's some Moors. Who is that on the cover?
I'm not sure, but we will find out. But it's called The Unforgettable, so I'm thinking it's Nat King Cole, right?
Unforgettable. It must be Nat King Cole then.
So it's a brown ale. It's their new
Well,
flavor.
it looks like he got a rope on. Nat King Cole got a rope.
Yeah, a lot of gold, a lot of kings wear gold, but so we're gonna try that for the first time. Shout out to Moore's Beer.
Yeah, shout out to Moore's Beer. They're actually having an event tonight too.
Another banger.
In Bronzeville, actually, they're having an event. So their events are always dope. So I mean, if you want to go to the dope events with some good beer, there you go.
Raise your standards.
Yep. Raise them. So let's bring in our next guy, our next all-star. Probably has the foulest mouth in the city. Well, not probably. He does. He has the foulest mouth in the city. At least foulest I've ever heard. He says a lot of bad words, but he's funny as hell. My man, Foul Mouth C.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
What's up with the formalities, man?
No, nothing much. Very shocked and surprised. Well, when I say shocked, that the Bears hung in there because they've been doing this all year. I don't think that rebuild is as far as everyone thinks it is.
What?
Because they easily have probably at least a top 5 hardest schedule in the NFL.
Absolutely.
So far this season. And there's only probably been about 3 games that they actually haven't been in. So
we're about to get into that in a minute. So let's bring in our next man up, the next all-star. He's not the rookie anymore, but he got that Hawk talk. I still don't think we're going to talk about the Hawks tonight. My man, Frank the Tank.
They lost like 7-1 yesterday. I don't think there's really that much to fucking talk about.
Shit, yeah. We don't want to talk about those losers. We'll talk about the other losers.
They are working in that tank too. Everybody's tanking. Everybody's tanking. Except the Bulls, who should be tanking, but they don't have a first-round draft pick.
They're not tanking. They just bad.
They don't got a first-round draft pick this year, do they? I don't think they do.
No,
next year, I think they have it.
Yeah,
they got it this year.
Yeah. Oh, they do got one this year?
Do.
Okay.
They do.
No, they don't actually. If it's
they
not
do.
top 4, then it goes to Orlando.
Oh, it's right. It's protected.
Yeah. Well.
Hey.
So our show tonight, guys. You all already know, but we didn't tell them. Our first guest, as he is running a little bit late, because he's experiencing some of the weather that's headed our way. Well, he's not getting the snow though. That's Marty Booker. Marty Booker. Record-breaking wide receiver, former wide receiver for the Bears. With hands probably as big as your face. We expect
XL gloves.
Yeah, his hands were like gloves. So yes, pretty much. So we're expecting him on first, but he did let me know he's running late. So, and our second guest, who will be on well, 9:15. We're gonna switch it up from football to basketball. So from one bad team to another.
We got nothing in Chicago.
And we're gonna talk to former big Marcus Fizer. Marcus Fizer, first round pick. He will be on the podcast at 9:15. But right now, we are gonna talk about the game that we saw on Sunday. And everybody's thoughts. Starting with you, Falmouth. Did he hear me? Is it froze?
My thoughts on the game. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Y'all hear me?
Sexy.
Okay. All right, my thoughts. I thought it was a competitive game. I was shocked. Actually, I keep saying shocked, but yet I'm sort of not, because they've been doing it all year. They've been in games all year. It doesn't matter who the team is that they're playing. You know, it could be the best team in the NFL, or it could be the damn worst team in the NFL. The Bears are still competing in most of their games. Justin did real good, surprisingly, with all the receivers that he had that is out. You know, no Harry, no Claypool, no Mooney. Somebody else I missed it too. It was St. Brown went out.
St. Brown went out on the first drive.
He went out.
Yeah. So, you know, still able to move the ball around. That offensive line got wrecked. I can understand, though. You know, the Eagles do have one of the best defensive lines in football. Didn't know they were that good. Yeah, they were good. You know, they're coaching the tank. They are definitely coaching the tank. Like I said, it's hard to get players to tank, because just by being an athlete, you know, majority of athletes have a competitor.
What makes you say that? That they're coaching the tank?
I mean, you can tell by the play calls. The play calling is definitely a way. It's hard to get athletes to tank, but if you make dumb calls or put in the wrong people at the wrong time or give the wrong people the ball at the wrong time, you can definitely cover up the tank. It's just that simple. Agreed. Athletes, we get competitive nature about us, so we're not gonna go out there to tank. Hey, thanks, Mom. Yeah, I'm feeling better. But, you know, athletes not going to go out there to tank. Not at all. But coaches can tank. Play calling.
Were they play calling bad like most of the season, though?
Yeah, to tank.
So they were tanking most of the season?
I felt that,
Yeah,
I know, JP. I know. You're holding it in.
I mean, you got to look at it.
You know, you for it.
John's going to sit up and say they just...
Yeah, he's holding it.
Yeah. You know... One thing I say about John, he gonna stay consistent. He gonna say that they idiots, and John don't like him because John
don't steal his thunder, foul. Don't steal his thunder, man.
Look, I ain't even said nothing yet. I'm just waiting.
I just know what he gonna sit up there.
Go ahead, JB. Go ahead.
Yancy an idiot and Pole stupid and Foose ain't the man.
Go ahead, JB.
And the reason I say that, and it is tongue-in-cheek to a degree, but how many more times are you going to try to pull the wool over the fans' eyes, especially fans that actually watch football for more than what it is the entertainment value? Certain play calling. You have, on paper, arguably, bottom third of the league, maybe bottom quarter of the league in talent on paper. But yet these guys are playing for jobs, playing for livelihoods, playing for contracts. And some of these guys are playing well beyond their selves. We used to call that remember this, Chris? We used to say they outkick their coverage. So some of these players are really playing like that. And to me, that's saying that maybe they weren't that bad, or what their scouting and report of these players was maybe a little off. Because one thing you can't measure, I don't care if you're an analytics guy or not, one thing you can't measure is a person's heart, desire, and drive. And these guys, look at that secondary, as beat up as it is, and they played damn near lights out the first half.
Absolutely, they did.
Lights out the first half. And this really is, in my opinion, this is where I say it's the battle of the have and have-nots, because you know pretty much on this team who's going to have a job next year. Everybody else is still scrambling. Out of 53-man roster, not counting the practice squad, would it be safe to say they're keeping 20, 25, maybe?
If maybe even that.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So the continuity that they're bringing in, and we're talking about not only a top defense, but a top offense. We're talking about going against arguably the unanimous MVP right now.
Yeah.
And look what they did.
Multiple turnovers.
Great pressure from the no-name defense. I like the fact that no matter what, Jack Sanborn was balling. He went out. Then here comes Joe Thomas balling, right? Next man up mentality. The only thing that I wish they would do is when you had a position, I believe it was in the third quarter.
Anthony.
I believe it was in the third quarter. We had the opportunity to literally take the lead and gain a little space. Yet he called them 2 stupid runs and that tight end. What was it, Chris? A tight end screen, I think it was.
Tight end screen, yeah.
That had no chance of working.
They threw it to the slowest person on the fucking field.
Don't you start that shit,
man.
But that's what I'm saying. Like when
one of
Fowl,
the fastest offensive linemen in the league, though, too.
Well, that's fine. But when Fowl speaks to the play calling, being as somebody as him that played football on a pretty high level,
I agree with the play calling.
that is insulting. Is that not insulting? Like, come on. And Monty was balling.
Monty had a damn good game. Even though there's still going to be haters out there.
I said the fix is in, baby. The fix is in.
Yeah, I agree.
So we might as well go ahead and jump to some highlights real quick.
What, I don't get my speak?
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad, Frank. My bad.
I actually expected JB to be a lot madder than he was. That was very
Me too.
Well, I think I took it all out on Sunday again. I'm still pretty mad, but because our chat got a little live. If you all could have been in our chat, you'd have been like, "Wow."
Yeah, we
like an SNL episode.
I kind of was getting a little pissed too. We spent like a whole freaking 2 quarters arguing about one damn play.
Right.
One damn play.
Yo, getting heated, man.
Yeah,
getting heated.
It was. So
Leatherwood looked decent.
My take on the game is I agree with what Fowl said on that one. Like they played a lot better than I expected. This was gonna be the one game where I did not think that they were gonna be in it. But out of all play, obviously Fields does what he keeps doing. But when it comes down to that, Montgomery had a phenomenal game. Even some of those wide receivers who guaranteed are not going to be on the roster next year.
Pringle.
Pretty good. Pringle looked pretty good.
He's not going to be on the roster.
No, he won't be on the roster because he's going to make a huge chunk of money next year. There's no point in keeping him. But when it's all said and done, offensive lineman, I'm happy to hear the news that Jenkins was at Hallis Hall this morning.
Right.
He wasn't practicing, but he was there walking around fine. Probably, I don't sit him for the rest of the year. I don't care. Like, we're playing for nothing right now. And all this talk about, as much as, you know, you can pop his freaking shit up, Velus Jones again with the fumble. Like, and everyone keeps saying, oh, he should cut him now. I was like, you know what? Eberflus said it perfectly. I'm going to keep feeding him the ball. I want him to see how he was going to come back after this now. It's like, what are you playing for right now? Keep feeding him the ball. If he's going to keep turning it over, then he's not going to be here next year. And, I mean, offensive line, I mean, they had a pretty solid first half, though. Solid. I'm not going to say great. For the Philadelphia Eagles defense, they had a solid first half.
Well, we can tell that Father Time has won with Reef and Schofield. Like that.
Yeah, Schofield looked absolutely awful.
Terrible. Matter of fact, isn't that who was on that lead block for that tight end screen?
Yes. And absolutely Eddie Jackson didn't whiffed air.
Yes.
Like just absolutely got
I'm
nothing.
tired of Eddie.
Y'all gonna have to get off of Eddie Jackson, man. All right,
he had a good year. He is.
This is why I say y'all gonna have to get off Eddie Jackson.
Who is y'all? I think Eddie Jackson did well. I like that.
I'm talking about them two up there.
Oh,
and this is the reason
I
why.
don't like him, no. But I will 100% admit he had a damn good year. But again, he's having another damn good year and a contract year.
Damn, so I'm talking to T. The reason why I say this,
I know it's you.
Eddie Jackson for the last couple years has been playing out of place, out of position. He is not a fucking strong safety. Never has been.
You're right.
But they've been sitting up there putting him in that. When you put him back at his natural position and you put a player that can be in the box, you see old Eddie Jackson.
He still can't tackle. Actually, he's having a good tackle.
But this is the thing about him. You never had him there to tackle.
I agree. I could agree with
he's
that.
He's always been there to be that ball hawk.
He was never a tackle in Alabama.
And when he was on top of his game, he was the best goddamn safety ball hawk in football.
No, let me tell you something. When you're a safety, whether strong or free, if you have to make a tackle, you have to make the tackle. No one's asking you to do that all the time. That may not be your job, but you got to step up and do it.
Well, I believe we got a safety that leads in tackles and sacks.
Brisker, yeah. Other than that very bad blitz,
that just shows you how bad your damn defensive line is.
Right.
That is
that motherfucker lead this sack.
That's true too. That is true too.
But our defensive front actually had a pretty solid game.
I'll put it to you like this. You're not expecting Eddie Jackson to have 100 fucking tackles.
Absolutely. No, if he does, that's a problem.
Never expect
that's a problem.
You expect him to have probably between, say, maybe 50 to 65 tackles. Hopefully.
I like that number.
He's not a great tackler. He's not. But what he gets paid for, the reason they gave him all that damn money is to do what he's been doing this year, which is go get that ball.
And he's doing well without a.
He did not get paid to tackle.
And I will admit this as well. He is doing that without putting any pressure on the quarterback. He is still doing a very damn good job. So
yeah,
exactly. I will tip my Santa hat for him today. I know T won't. He still has his toilet paper Eddie Jackson jersey in the bathroom. Wipes his ass with that. But I will admit he's played very well this year. But let me ask this though. We JB actually said it. Our secondary has played extremely well these past few games.
Yes.
And this is without Eddie Jackson. Could it be the system?
Cover 2 is designed to take the ball away and bend don't break. That's what it is designed to do. And
agreed.
I like the fact now, again, so let me backtrack. With the youth in the secondary, Kyler Gordon had a good game. Both tackling and he got an interception.
Phenomenal game.
And where did Kyler get his interception at?
In the grass?
No, the other side. He was playing the other side.
I'm just fucking with you.
Other corner position.
That was a great read, too.
Not the nickel. I'm sorry.
I don't think he can sustain being at the nickel not because he can't play the position. It's just the position is not. People think you just guard like the fastest guy. No, that's not always the case.
You got to be very twitchy to play that nickel position because most of the guys that you're going up against are very twitchy wide receivers. I mean, they cut on a dime. They don't have to be the fastest, but goddamn it, they quick.
Yep.
There's a difference between being quick and being fast.
Oh,
and I think Kyler put himself like in the realm of can he be our number 2 next year? The other Jalen Jones played well.
He did play well.
Yeah, he did.
Because he had him and Jalen Johnson took turns on Antonio Brown. I mean on AJ Brown. He's a beast. He's a beast.
AJ Brown. I put it to you like this. You got to give credit to Hurts and you got to give credit to AJ Brown because he made some nice catches and Hurts threw some beautiful balls. And and then you got to tip your hat off to Jalen Johnson as well because Jalen Johnson was right there on.
That's what I'm saying. He had phenomenal coverage.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we check out these highlights real quick?
Good
3rd and 10. Fields looking to throw over the middle. He's got Cornelius St. Brown, and they do convert with a gain of 20.
They hustle up just in case.
Again, he scrambles. There's a flag down. This ball gets intercepted. Kyler Gordon with the pick. Fields looks to throw. On the move, he's got Dante Pettis, who is wide open. Pettis has the first down. 3rd down and 4. Fields steps up and has a seam, and Justin Fields his first long run of the day. Eagles bringing pressure this time. Fields tucked it, got away, kept it alive, and found Montgomery. David Montgomery to the 30. 3rd consecutive double-digit sack season. Fields moves in the pocket and gets away. Justin Fields takes off, turns a sack into a big gain and a first down. Justin Fields, otherworldly, stays in, steps out at the 9. It'll be 1st and goal from the 9. Back to Montgomery. David Montgomery for the Bears touchdown. And Chicago takes the lead. Felt like it would have been a one-score loss without the missed extra point. Here is another pick. It's from DeAndre Houston Carson. His first one of the year. Includes a big run back to the 25. 3rd and 5 here. Pressure coming. Fields whips it outside to Montgomery. His 2nd touchdown.
Last week against Green Bay, again this week.
Runs it again here. Gets around Graham. And got a first down into 42. End around. Velus Jones got around the first man. The Eagles were all over it, and the ball comes out. Shot out of there. Brown has it knocked away by Johnson. Do it. Still with a month left. He's in trouble here. Stays alive. Flags down. Fields keeps on running and has a first down.
Holding. Offense. Number 71.
5 yards, crossing 1,000 for the year. Evades pressure here. And Fields has a wide open Pringle, blown coverage and a touchdown, and the Bears not dead yet.
Shout out to Easy for that highlight reel. That highlight reel was dope.
Sure,
Shout
man.
out Easy, man.
Easy does it.
Yes, sir. Easy does it on Thursdays. Check it out. But fellas, can I first say that Justin Fields is absolutely amazing, man. They should have given him that touchdown.
I wish they did, man.
Just on effort. Oh, my God. That dude is Warren Moon, Randall Cunningham, Dante Culpepper, all rolled into one, and Vince Young, and Michael Vick, all rolled into one.
Yeah, the fact that he can do that shit and be as
crazy,
big as he is.
Definitely giving me Randall Cunningham vibes. Definitely giving me Ultimate Weapon vibes. For sure.
That dude, I know there's a lot of Justin Field haters out there. We get it. Especially those that are not Chicago Bears fans. They're going to sit up there and say, oh, he can't throw the ball. Trust me. Let me tell you all out there this. Justin Fields is a pass-first quarterback. He doesn't want to run. He's only running because he has to run. And the more he gets comfortable in this offense, the more he gets comfortable in the NFL, the more he gets more comfortable with his wide receivers. You will start to see that. If you look at his whole career through high school, through college at Ohio State, that brother barely ran. He wasn't no guy that was going to sit up there and tuck and run. He sit up there. You don't throw 41 touchdowns at Ohio State with 3 damn picks. Fucking run first. You don't do that shit. You don't have one of the best deep balls coming into the NFL draft that people have ever seen from tucking and fucking running. Sorry to tell you. Like I said, the kid is special. I thought that he was the best quarterback coming out that draft. I would have took him number 1 over Trevor Lawrence, everybody's golden boy. I would have took him. I think that he has a chance if he can sit up there and continue to develop and know the nuances of the game and continue with his accuracy and trust in his wide receivers and be with a competent offensive coordinator with a competent offense that utilizes his strengths, that this guy could be all-time special, a potential great and Hall of Famer.
I definitely can see that.
Yeah.
I definitely can see that. I know for one.
How often can we say that?
And this ain't no Homer shit. I had him number 1. I didn't even think the fucking Bears had a chance in hell to get him.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, the New York Jets are kicking they behind.
Oh my God!
Because
there's a lot of teams who are.
But the Jets, like half
Jets
of the Jets
mainly, absolutely. You could say the 49ers too, who moved up.
Not to pull the trigger on but the thing is, Falmouth, like you just said, he's a pass first quarterback. I look at some things that are not sustainable. The 1,000-yard mark rushing for a quarterback, phenomenal. That's him. Michael Vick, Lamar did it twice. But even if you notice, when Mike Vick came back as a Philadelphia Eagle, he passed a hell of a lot more.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, he did.
Lamar Jackson asked for some deeper threats and better, bigger wide receivers, Rashad Bateman and them, because he knows this running is not sustainable. What I don't want is I do not want for Justin, knock on some wood, I don't want him to become RG3.
No.
And what I mean by RG3 is Shanahan had that man running so much that it was just bound for him to get hurt. And like I said, what I see from Getsy is too many designed quarterback run. 4 or 5, 5 or 6, maybe, because you already know when the play breaks down, he's going to scramble, he's going to run. So there's really no need to make like other design runs other than that. He needs to cut down on that. I still think Getsy needs to let him loose one game and throw the ball 30, 32, 33 times. We still haven't really seen that. And
he was let loose a little bit versus Philly, though, but he just had a lot of pressure because receivers weren't getting open, so he had to scramble.
Right, but it was more him making the play and the receivers,
great,
as opposed to being able to sit back and scheme. Because here's the one thing we know: if you have a great route runner, like Chris said, that's quick, better than fast, in a West Coast style offense, you can get a lot of money. You can get a lot of money. One thing I still don't see that I saw the Eagles do to us. I still don't see that deep drag across the middle, and I still don't see slants consistent enough. Just get the ball. Because remember, our projected starting wide receiver core, neither one of them played. Mooney is out. Claypool didn't play. Harry didn't play. So you're really looking at your 4th, 5th, 6th, and sometimes your 7th string guy.
And remember, St. Brown went out too.
St. Brown.
I was going to say St. Brown went out on a slant.
Do we even have
he
a
did go out on a
reliable
slant.
enough wide receiver to drag across the middle?
But
it's not hard to do that.
But it's always a dangerous throw because there's a lot of
even Pettis would be.
Well, I put it to you like this: you got 2 big ass 6'4" fucking wide receivers
that don't have hands.
What,
oh wait, no, you talking about Harry and
Claypool.
Harry and Claypool. Yeah. Right. Both of them got hands.
Mooney's solid.
First of all, Harry and fucking Claypool both weigh over 225 fucking pounds.
You right.
And they're easily 6'4".
I didn't think about them. I was.
Guess who else is 6'4", 230? AJ Brown. And we just saw what that type of player can do with slants.
AJ Brown is the number 1. He's the number 1 wide receiver in the NFL as far as when it comes down to catching slants. So that's
why not incorporate that?
Yeah.
Why not incorporate that into our game?
That's his route right there. He's number 1 in the NFL as far as slant catches. So.
Dude, look. He was throwing to Simba Webster, man.
I know, right? Simba.
That's because we didn't have nobody else.
Simba. But that's my point. So he's making
back-to-back passes too.
He's making throws to guys that you only know their names if you play Madden. Like, come on, like give Justin some credit.
Even if you play Madden, shit.
Well,
if you play Madden, you gotta search for that son of a bitch.
I didn't say you didn't search for him, but he damn sure on the game. If you update your rosters, he's right there.
Let me ask you this, JB, because I know we always were discussing this too with off-season as far as wide receivers go.
Yes.
I kind of did a little digging these past few days. And let me ask this question before I even say this. Would you think he would trade again to try to get another receiver? Since they just did it with Claypool on a gentleman who, again, has the potential to be a number 1. Unfortunately, he is behind a number 1, so he's never going to be a number 1.
Okay, give me the team.
He is going into his last year of his contract.
Give me the team.
Bengals.
So you're talking about Tyler Boyd?
Hilton.
No, he's talking about
Higgins. Sorry, T. Higgins.
T. Higgins.
25 years old. He is when Chase was out, he was dominant. He was your number one.
Right. He had like back-to-back 100-yard games. But well, here's the thing. What value do you place on T. Higgins? Like
it's going to be a lot more than what you got for Chase Claypool.
Well, we gave up our second-round pick for Chase Claypool. To turn around and give up the pick that we got from the Ravens.
Thank you, Anthony. Not proven.
Is that not true? But it's one of them things where he might have to get a chance to prove himself, right?
Yeah.
Because like case in point to your guy, if I'm not mistaken, before Stephon Diggs came on the map, Adam Thielen was the guy, and then Stephon Diggs just emerged, and then he got the next thing smoking. He got out of there and went to Buffalo, right? Yeah. So I mean, I do like him. He's a very very unique receiver. I think he's got a lot of talent. To go offense heavy position player wise right now, I don't think that's smart because you definitely need to shore up that line. Yeah. And my fear is that he's going to go defense.
Yes.
And then try to build something free agency. And like I told you guys before, like free agency is not a lot of, like it's one or two top guys at those positions of need. And who's to say they're even going to be there? Because I'm gonna tell you one team right now there's going to be big players in free agency trying to get line help because they don't have any picks. Is the damn Los Angeles Rams? They need to get a lot because Matthew Stafford.
But they're not going to get a lot. They're going to lose his
neck. You know what I'm saying?
Man, them motherfuckers ain't got no picks, man.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So they're going to have to do what they can do in free agency because they don't have any picks. But a team like that, where you can say, well, damn, I can go to the Bears and get X, Y, Z, and then I'm like, well, I don't know if Orlando Jones is going to be enticed enough to come to Chicago.
Orlando Brown.
I said Orlando Jones. Right, Orlando Brown from Kansas City.
Yeah, I know. He's on a lot of people are loving what they're seeing from Justin Fields on that line for the offensive line.
Right. I know Orlando Jones. I mean Orlando Brown.
Shit, we got that motherfucker playing the line. Something wrong.
He's damn playing now, right? But he's a free agency on a franchise tag, and I can honestly see full transparency because I do love Patrick Mahomes, right? I can see them winning. And Orlando Brown being like, no, man, I got to go get my money. I'm gone. But does he change everything on the Bears? He changes a part of it, right? But then you get somebody like the Jets that could put him on the other side of Mekhi Becton, and then it's like, maybe I'll go there. So we don't know because it's not a lot. Now, if it was like 5 of the top 15 linemen in free agency, okay, yeah, let's. If I don't get him, I'll get him. If I don't get him, I'll get him. We just don't have that luxury right now. So I really think with that second or third round pick,
there's one.
We got to get the best offensive lineman available. I think Skoronski gonna be gone.
You said with that first pick?
I said the second or the third.
Oh,
the second or the third pick.
Wait, you're saying in the first round?
No,
no.
Oh, okay, I thought you meant like the second round. Okay, I was just like.
Well, to answer,
Anthony, that's an easy question.
Yeah, what was his question? I didn't see it.
Tell who's the number one free agent wide receiver out there next year. Ain't one shit.
No, yeah, they're really.
I mean, on paper, it's like
Nelson Aguilar and Jacoby Myers. Probably
maybe Juju Schuster may be as close to it as it.
No, I'm gonna tell you exactly what it is. It's Jacoby Myers, McCole Hardman, and Juju Smith-Schuster. Those are the top 3.
And out of those 3, you will go probably with Juju.
And I probably will say this after what Jacoby Myers just did. Probably don't want him. Yeah. McCole Hardman is coming off of a injury. He was on IR. He'll be back, so we don't even know if he's healthy. And then Juju is a nice receiver, but he's no different than what we already have, just small.
Exactly. He's like,
This is
I think Claypool and them are better.
If I'm the GM, this is what I do. If I'm the GM, this is what I'm doing. I'm going into next year. I'm going to address other needs outside of that wide receiver position because right now I don't think it's a lack of talent. You got a guy in the first rounder, in Harry, who sometimes being in a new place can totally change your outlook. You still got Mooney. You still got Claypool. I know people sitting up there saying, "Oh man, we traded this for Chase." Let's be honest out here, people. For real.
He hasn't learned the system.
I'm not a Notre Dame fan.
We know.
But I like Chase Claypool. And let's be honest, has he really been given opportunities to really show what the fuck it is that he can do.
Not
he really
here.
hasn't. He
Not
really
here.
hasn't. And it's going to take, we
A
can't
full
judge
offseason
that
will
pick
help.
right now, but we can judge it maybe at the end of next year.
Yeah.
But see, do you really want to judge the pick now? Because let's remember.
Well, I mean, you got people out there that's doing it.
Well,
There's a lot of people.
That's the people. When I'm looking at a kid.
Hell, you even got these so-called fucking analysts and
experts,
fucking professionals and experts sitting up here talking about, oh, I wouldn't have did this and I wouldn't have did that. Shut your ass up and stay on the motherfucking goddamn radio because I don't know what the fuck y'all talking about half the time.
And they don't. Because here's the thing, and I'm going to be 100% honest, because some of the stuff we know they say for shock material, right? We know that that's trolling or whatever they do. Okay, kick all the Nick Wright bullshit aside. If you look at what Chase Claypool did with a veteran quarterback in Ben Roethlisberger, his rookie year, he had 9 touchdowns.
That's just receiving.
That's just right. That's just receiving. And I think he had another 2.
I think he had another 2. Yeah, he had rushing, another 2 like rushing. Yeah,
right. Because I remember he had double digits total. So with that being said, right, fellas, you can't sit up there and say that this is not a game-changing player. Because to come in as a rookie and have that type of success, then the next year you have 3 different quarterbacks because Ben Roethlisberger's hurt. Then you have Mason Rudolph, and I forgot the other kid they had, number 2. Is Mason Rudolph, I think, right? Mason Rudolph of Oklahoma State.
Yeah, Mason Rudolph was definitely one of them.
And then earlier this year, you had Mitchell Trubisky and you had
Pickett.
Kenny Pickett sound like a fucking country singer.
Right. So it's like
he threw like a country singer too.
But my point is, you can't sit up there and say, I can't judge this kid. Look what he does when he's got a quarterback that can get him the ball. That in itself is where you look at your scheme and you say, what ways can I isolate mismatches? Because Devontae Adams, and I'm not calling Chase Claypool Devontae Adams, but think about what Devontae Adams has done to us personally. Isolate the mismatch.
Yeah.
Throw it up, let him just go be better than the next man.
And Rodgers didn't
do anything that's spectacular with
the other team don't think that he ain't shit because a lot of times they got fucking safety over the top help on that motherfucker.
Miami.
Yeah.
Miami did it.
Yeah. Shit.
And they still
you talking about when old boy still ain't bought his ass a drink for hugging him and shit the whole goddamn time? Yeah.
Remember that? Yeah.
Got that motherfucker a drink, man. Shit, you want to hug his ass?
He had him like this. I love you. Pull him down in the end zone, no call. You know what I'm saying? So, Orange Bearlissimo, where you been, my brother? How you doing?
Miss you, bud. Miss you.
Good to see you.
Am I too bright for you?
Yeah, but so
shout out Bearlissimo.
Ryan Poles is on the clock, fellas, and I know you know how I feel. He's on the clock because you have to hit, and when I mean hit, it can't be what is his name, Leonard Floyd, can't be a Shea McClellan, can't be a Gabe Karimi, can't be a Chris Williams. We can't have any of that. Can't be a Kevin White. We can't have none of that.
I got a question for you guys. I'm sorry, JB. I got a question for you guys. So far, what we in? Week 16, whatever, 15, whatever.
14.
Yeah.
There's 3 games left.
Yeah, we got 3 games left. So far, how do you grade his draft?
Go ahead, JB. I know your hate's gonna come out. Let's get it.
I'm gonna be honest.
Be honest.
He only got one. He only hit on one like true hit, which was Brisker. I'm gonna give him that D+ C- because none of them linemen that he drafted in the back end just to give us depth. Hell, none of them are even on the damn team.
I'm gonna roll out at least a C+ because Kyler Gordon has improved a lot from week 1 all the way to now. So I'm gonna give him that one too, and we can. I mean, everybody, including me. I mean, I could throw some hate on Braxton Jones as well, but he's getting his playing time.
He's the only one that started every single snap.
I'd really love to see what he is going to do with a full off season next year too. I mean, he drafted these people for the future. Right,
I would give it a C. I wouldn't give it a C+. I wouldn't give it a C-. Kyler Gordon has stepped up.
Mm-hmm.
He's not like, Darrelle Revis or nothing, but he has stepped up. He's a rookie.
Yeah, he's a rookie.
So, give him a little slack. Jaquan Brisker, he is what we needed him to be for this season. For this season.
And the only one I can truly say he missed on is Bayless. The only one I can truly say.
You know what?
He can't hold on to the ball.
I hate him so much. I'm calling him by his real name.
I'm going to give him straight up.
It's not right.
You gave him a B?
Yeah, I'm going to give him a B.
Oh, I wish he was my teacher.
Hold on. This is why. Because as far as when it really comes down to it, I think Briscoe was a big time home run right there.
He's going to be an elite.
I give Kyler. Kyler was a double. Real talk. Because I think Kyler is best fitted for the outside.
100%.
But because he is who he is, they got him playing in the nickel position as well. And he's done fairly decent there at the nickel position. I think his better position is the outside. I think we'll see a lot better due to his physicality and shit. We can see at least he can fucking catch the goddamn ball. There's a lot of fucking DBs out there that can.
And he can tackle.
Yeah, and he can tackle.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Braxton Jones, as the season has went on, he has gotten substantially better to the point, shit. At least I think if they do bring in somebody, he can at least compete for the job. And then we also got to remember, even though we didn't draft him, Sanborn is a guy that they did their homework on.
Yeah, they found him.
And that motherfucker was leading the NFL in fucking tackles. He was leading the NFL in tackles before he fucking got hurt. Since he became a starter.
Hey, Chris.
So to me, that's a B.
I'm gonna tell you this. I don't think they found Jack Sanborn. I think Jack Sanborn was one of those ones that just got invited to the workout and he just stuck on the practice squad and they brought him up. I'll say this. If we just go off of just draft, if you want to add Jack Sanborn, nobody, not one of us here and not anybody out there that claims to be a Bears aficionado or expert can sit up here and lie to my face and say they knew Jack Sanborn was a stud.
No. But the thing is this, even with the undrafted free agent shit, you still got to pick a guy. Ain't like they can just hop on the squad.
But let me finish. If you go and give him credit for Jack Sanborn, that's almost giving them credit knowing that they were going to get rid of Roquan way back then.
No, they ain't got shit to do with that.
In my opinion, because
if you're going to go out and get an undrafted guy.
Hold on, let me finish. Because remember, a lot of people, like I got to keep telling them in these groups, Nicholas Morrow was the starting middle linebacker, not Roquan Smith. As soon as Jack Sanborn got put into the position, he went straight to middle and Morrow went straight to the outside.
You're right.
And that's why I'm saying, like, if you want to give him credit, Chris, I see why, because you can find diamonds in the roughs and gems, but I just want to go straight off of actual picks, just picks, right? And out of the picks that he had, I can't say that they're going to say Braxton Jones is that guy because they're going after Orlando Brown. They're going after Jack Conklin. You see what I'm saying? They're going after.
Well, this is the thing I sit up there and you guys fail to realize maybe is that you also got to remember. You got to look at what draft picks he actually was in position to fucking sit up there and have. Like, he didn't have a first round pick.
No, he didn't.
He had 2 fucking seconds. What? A third. He didn't have a 4th. He had a couple 5ths. And then the way he maneuvered to get even more draft picks. That's why I sit up there and say give it a B.
You're giving them props for getting more draft capital based upon
not only more draft capital, but just with the picks that he had. I mean, how many GMs do you sit up there that you see that don't have a first round pick, don't have a 4th round pick, but you can sit up there and say that they really got 3 solid fucking draft picks out of them with 2 seconds, a third that he missed. I'm not going to even, and this is the thing, I'm not going to sit up there and pile on Velus Jones because enough people are sitting up there doing that. He seems like right now to me, the kid seems like he's a little shaken because he's scared to fucking make a mistake out there. And when you're scared to make a mistake out there, guess what happens?
You're going to fuck
fucking
up.
Mistakes.
No.
But let's not act like you can't get gold in the 5th round. I say this all the time.
You can.
There's a very, 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 very damn good tight end in San Francisco who was a 5th round pick who I wanted back then. His name is George Kittle. We can find value and gold in the 5th round depending on what your team needs. The Bears, unfortunately, depleted themselves to the point where they needed everything. But you still have people to this day that will say Braxton Jones, Jaquan Brisker, great pick. Velvet Jones, horrible pick. Then they'll go to that part where they like, Kyler Gordon, we could have had George Pickens. There's still that group.
This is my thing about George Pickens. Hold on.
I'm not saying me. I'm just saying there's still those people out there that do that.
Because those people out there tell me, what the fuck has George Pickens did this year that's made his ass so special where his like, you can just sit up there and, we just totally missed on George Pickens. What the fuck?
I just told you. Been on SportsCenter because that's all you can judge him off of.
Yeah, exactly. He made one fucking catch that's been on SportsCenter. That's it. That's
all you can judge it. But
so all the people that talk about George Pickens, y'all jump off a fucking bridge. Because the kid ain't showed me shit. He ain't showing me shit. He had one fucking catch that was on SportsCenter, and everybody, oh my god, we traded for Case Claypool. We should have got George
I haven't heard too much from him over these past
You ain't heard shit from him.
No, he just made like another highlight the other day too.
I haven't heard him. And one thing I'm going to trail back here on the Sanborn thing. Let's not forget, Sanborn did tell people that Poles called the coach and asked about him.
Absolutely.
He did. I consider that kind of being. He recruited him. He wanted Sanborn when the coach actually told him what he's good at, and he's like, "Hey, I can always use that here in case of injuries." But yeah, nobody expected him to do what he was doing.
But see, that's my point, Frank. The way that he got catapulted into let's not say stardom, but into a role where we're like, damn, Jack Sanborn can really play. I don't think.
Well, we knew that in preseason. When we saw him in preseason, people wanted him a part. People wanted him to be a part of the 53-man roster.
Yeah, I don't know if I could judge him on what he did in the preseason.
It came down between him and Adams, right?
I'll put it to you like this. Yeah, you in a preseason. You are in a preseason to try to make the fucking roster. If you shine in the fucking preseason, you should make the fucking roster.
Yeah, but nobody expected him to be doing this once he took Roquan.
That's my point. So I don't even think, I'm telling you, I don't even think Poles thought Jack Sanborn.
No, I don't think that either. No. That was a diamond in the rough.
I'm saying, like when you say you're the smartest person in the room, that's what he was trying to do with Velvet Jones. Because Velvet Jones, in his own interview, be it humility or not, he said himself he didn't think he was going to get drafted. That's what I'm talking about, judging people on their picks, as opposed to who they got in free agency. Who they picked up undrafted, which is still definitely a part of the process. And I agree with you, Chris, which is why I say I can still go C- as high as a C because of that, if you want to put that factor into play. I was just talking about straight hitting on picks. And the picks that we've had, Dominique Robinson, I'll say the jury's still out. Braxton Jones, I'll be like,
jury's still out.
No. I mean, they're all rookies. The jury's still out on all of them.
But the minute they can get somebody better, Braxton Jones either going to right tackle or going to the bench. Period.
Well, the thing is, even if he goes to right tackle and he fucking sits up there and succeed.
Yeah.
Oh, let me get on Bear Musimo talk about his question. He said, I can't have the Pickens slander though. Just because he ain't a Bear don't mean he can't play. Nobody says that he can't play. I just sit up there and said, I don't get what's all the hoopla about. Like, we really.
He's not doing like what Chase was doing.
Yeah. It's not like I said, it's not like he's lighting up the world. It's not like he's having a Justin Jefferson type year where he's just lighting up the fucking NFL.
He's doing well.
He's doing okay. He's doing pretty good, but it's not to the point where it's like, oh man, we fucking missed on him. You know?
Hey, can you put that back up? What he just said? I wanted Romeo Doubs if he was available. I said, I was like, man, go get Doubs.
Oh yeah, now that right there, I totally believe there were some other wide receivers out there that we could have.
Yes, and when I ain't gonna lie, when Jahan Dotson went off the board, I was like, God.
Hey, I'm roll up and check on Anthony's question too that he asked a little. Scroll up a little bit. He said important question here, so I think he wanted that one up. And yeah, I can say yes. I can't. Would I have said that in the beginning of the season? No. But from what I saw from Justin Fields this year, I can literally say 2024 can be a breakout year for these Bears. They could even somehow sneak their way into a postseason because I think our division is getting weaker. Other than the Lions, Bears and the Lions. Bears and the Lions are going up. Vikings, they're a very good, not entertain. I don't even know how to say it. Like, they aren't what their record is, I feel like. Like, I don't see it with that one. And Aaron Rodgers is a little bitch.
Let me chime in on this question.
Yeah, go ahead, because
so I think that it depends. It depends on how Ryan Poles spends this money.
100%. That's all that matters.
And it depends on if he hits with these draft picks. The Bears can actually make a lot of noise. They can actually make a lot of noise in the season. It just depends on what moves that they make. We see pretty much what we have now and who we have to get rid of, who we're going to keep, who we're going to pay, who we're not going to pay. I think David Montgomery pretty much has earned his money. I think
there's a lot of people out there who still disagree with you too.
I think they should go. At first,
he should be offered a contract.
I don't know. At first, I was like, I don't know. But now I'm thinking, okay, yeah, give him that money. Give him that money because David Montgomery, he has a lot of heart. He ain't a big dude, but he got heart, man. He got a lot.
He's a football player.
He plays big.
He's a football player.
Yeah,
the thing is, David Montgomery.
He plays a lot bigger than what he is.
Absolutely.
I think people don't really realize how good David Montgomery is. Since the time he's been with the Bears, they have not had a fucking offensive line. How many times this season, last season, the season before then, have we sit up there and the quarterback say hype and hand the ball off, and there's a man right there in his fucking face?
Mm-hmm.
Like, David Montgomery is this type of guy.
2019 season.
Yeah, you throw the ball to him, and he got that one defender right there. You know what? 98% of the time, I'm going to take David Montgomery. He's going to make that guy miss, or that guy's going to try to tackle him. He's going to get out of it.
Absolutely. And then the other ones are going to pound him.
And this is another thing that I was digging because everyone's just like, Khalil Herbert. When David Montgomery got hurt, all right, I'm going like last year. Khalil Herbert got worse and worse and worse every single game.
You good, Bradley?
This
man.
This is not a rip.
Keep talking, Bradley, because I got something I want to run past you. Please.
This is not a big hit on Khalil Herbert or anything like that, but he is not a number one running back. He's not an every down running back. He is only a north-south type runner. He hits the gap hard. He hits it fast. I love that. You pay Montgomery and you put Montgomery and Herbert as a 1-2 punch. That is a deadly 1-2 punch. And then to go along with throwing Fields in there with a little bit of his runs too. But let's not forget David Montgomery is a damn good blocker for Fields.
Or you could go with Saquon Barkley.
Now, wait a minute. When I said that last time, y'all said I was crazy.
No, I didn't say that.
I don't want Saquon.
Because I told
y'all a
report came out that we're on his top list.
Saquon Barkley for?
But you're going to have to pay Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, hold on, but I put it to you like this.
Are you giving him the highest paid salary for a running back?
Is he going to get the highest paid salary?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Is he going to take the highest paid salary for a running back is $14 million?
What do we need
He's going to want at least $15 million.
Barkley for? What do we need him for?
Did you call him Glass?
Glass?
Porcelain Glass.
He got hurt one year towards ACL.
He only got hurt 1 year, and he can't.
What do we need him for?
That doesn't make him Glass because he tore his ACL.
The problem here is Saquon Barkley.
So we have David Montgomery. We have David Montgomery. We have Khalil Herbert.
It's a good. I'd rather those
Saquon Barkley for
because they will value Saquon Barkley in this running game to combine what Montgomery and Herbert can do. Saquon can do that.
Saquon is a game breaker. That's what you want. If you sit up there, if you sit up there, you can't find all the guys that you want at wide receiver, as they say. You want game breakers. Justin Fields is a game breaker.
Yes.
Saquon Barkley is a fucking game breaker. Yes. This is a guy that can sit up there, take the ball, and he can go all the way.
Justin
Fields can take the ball, go all the way. You want game
breakers. Does
breakers.
it hurt Justin Fields' progression if you go out and get Saquon Barkley?
No.
I think it does.
How?
you want to train him to be somewhat of a pocket passer. You bring Saquon in here, you're going to be running Justin Fields off.
No. You want to know why? Because Saquon can catch the ball out the backfield.
And
you're
he
right
can block.
And he can block.
He can block
so it's not about sitting up there and making him hand the ball off and become a runner. The thing is this. Can you imagine? Let's say you the defensive coordinator for whatever fucking team, and you say, God damn, we got the fucking Chicago Bears this week. We got fucking Justin Fields to deal with, and this son bitch Saquon Barkley back here.
Bellissimo just said the same thing. Just said.
Do you know how much fucking sleepless nights these motherfuckers gonna have?
Yeah, but then do you still want a number one wide receiver? Because you're not going to get one.
That's the thing. You don't need one.
You're not wrong on that. I mean, I wouldn't mind.
Like I said, to me, honestly, I think that we could get away with N'Keal Harry on one side and Chase Claypool on the other and Mooney in the slot. Because people sitting up there talking about we need that person to go deep. This son of a bitch, this big 6'5", 200 and fucking 35-pound ass wide receiver runs a fucking 4.3 with a 40-inch fucking vertical. The other one is 6'4", 225 pounds. He's your intermediate guy.
So you're gonna let David Montgomery go. I'm just saying in general. Let David Montgomery go. Have Saquon Barkley your starter and Khalil Herbert his backup.
I said if I had to choose, I would choose to look. You got 100 and some million. They talking about that the salary cap may go up another 30 million come next year.
Mm-hmm.
You can sit up there. You can
get
spend
that money right back.
You can spend 15 million on Saquon. You can spend 15 million on Saquon. Hell, because if you sitting up there about to pay Orlando Brown fucking 20-something goddamn million, which I don't think he's fucking worth.
Well, that's because you're talking about a tackle and a running back, and running backs, unfortunately, other than this year, has been a dying breed.
Yeah,
running backs really have.
I'll tell you like this: what you think Jonathan Taylor gonna get?
He gonna get anywhere between 12 to 15.
Yeah, when his contract comes up, he's gonna be the highest paid. So you're gonna get some guys out there that's going to sit up there and get the money.
But this is what I keep trying to.
Those are game breakers.
All throughout the year, I was trying to bring this to your attention. Ant Stewart, Bellissimo, you guys are watching. I want you guys to all chime in, anybody. When it comes to having that amount of money, you're going to have to overpay somebody. Now, is it going to be a position of need, like Chris says, is a game breaker? Or is it going to be a knee jerk just to say, like when the Bulls got Carlos Boozer in free agency? Yeah, we wasn't like, oh, man, yeah, Carlos Boozer. No, they knee jerk. Like, you got to do something. You know what I'm saying? And with the people that are available at those positions of need, of great need, I mean, it really ain't that money out there. Like, this is really like a C plus draft. I mean, a free agent class. Like, if you telling me right now, and the one thing I do not want, which I think they're gonna do, I think they're gonna go after Eggleton Jenkins, who is the tackle in the Packers, because Getsy got some type of thing with wanting to keep bringing Packers on here. But he's also somebody that's injury prone. Yeah, you know, if you're gonna bring him in, I'd rather you just ride with Leatherwood and
Leatherwood got his ass whooped last game.
But you know what though? They did him a fucking disservice.
Yes, you're right.
It ain't like this is a guy that's been playing for fucking weeks and sit up there been getting game reps like that. You don't sit up there and send a guy.
Like, let's see if you can swim.
The motherfucker just gained his damn weight back.
Right.
You know, somebody
lost 25
I tell you this, you gonna chip fucking Bourne and you gonna chip fucking Riley Reef. You gonna put fucking tight ends over there with him, but leave this motherfucker by himself.
Yeah, I still feel defense is your number one priority.
And that's what Bullets just asked that question. If you could put that back up, I agree.
You need that defensive line.
If you don't get Jalen Carter, if you guys do want Will Anderson,
I want Will Anderson.
You better fly to Washington, knock on Deron Payne's door. He's a 26-year-old defensive tackle, a stud. Put you in the mind of a young Tommy Harris, right? And then you put him. You don't leave until he signs. You don't leave until he signs. You do what Lovie Smith did to Julius Peppers. Hey man, I ain't leaving until you come with me.
Hey, I'm feeling what Dobbs is saying right there, because I don't know. The thing is this: you can knock on Payne door all you want. Washington gonna answer that bitch, and they gonna be like just like this. Hey, we franchise tagging. That's what they may do. They may do. You knock on the door thinking that you're gonna see Payne and you're gonna see his mama, which is
But
why.
don't they have to pay Chase
They gonna
Adams
be like-
next year? Don't they got to
They
pay
gonna have
Chase
to pay a
Adams?
couple motherfuckers. But if that salary cap goes up like the way it's supposed to, you can sit up there and spend that money. Now, what he was talking about, Adam Dobbs was sitting up there saying about Buckner. Now, there's a chance that DeForest Buckner may be released.
I heard that. Yeah,
From
I heard that too.
Indianapolis. If he's released, that's an Eberflus guy right there.
I would kick the tires on DeForest
Yeah, I would
Buckner.
definitely
He's a
kick the tires
little
on
older. He's a little older, but
He's
still got
about 28. You can get probably get another 2-3 years.
He still got some gas in the tank.
Yeah. So I would do that until I draft. But I'm damn sure going for Will Anderson because I put it to you like this. Name me the top-notch defensive end that's on the fucking market. And is he worth the money that he's going to
As far as free agency, I can tell you right now.
Agency.
Marcus Davenport. Then you got Bradley Chubb, who actually is not no more because he's on the Dolphins. Remember, he got traded. And then you ain't gonna believe the last one. This is how much of a dip.
Yeah, I know who you're gonna say. Yeah.
Jadeveon Clowney.
Yeah.
He's the third highest rated defensive end available, and we do not want him. He plays as many games as we do, bro. We don't want him.
Exactly.
We don't want him.
That's who T should be calling Mr. Glass and shit. Yeah. So I sit up there and say, we either, me personally as a GM, I'm going DN, give me Will Anderson. I'll take either Payne or Buckner. Now we got at least 2 pass rushers. We can sit up there, maybe find somebody later on in the draft, or maybe one of the guys that we got this year. What's his name? What's the boy name? Dominic, whatever the fuck his name is. Yeah,
but Dominic Robinson got to play up the other side. See, that's the thing. We don't know what he is yet. We kind of know what Travis Gibson is right now. We kind of know.
Ain't shit.
Then they were talking about
because there was somebody that was on this motherfucker that were talking about, Travis Gibson. He's gonna have double-digit sacks. And I sit up there and said, it's easy for you to look good when your ass ain't on that motherfucking game plan. When
they don't have no film on them.
Yeah, when they ain't got no film on, or they ain't looking to have film on you because you ain't that fucking important. But now when they game planning for your ass, what you gonna do? And what has he done? That motherfucker ain't even got 4 sacks.
I read a site that was saying that they were tinkering with putting if they get Jalen Carter, they was gonna move Justin Jones to end, which I'm still like, why would you do that?
Yeah, I mean, Justin Jones, he's only got better as the year went on.
He's not bad, but he's not and I'm not even saying like Bilal Nichols was like great, but Bilal Nichols is making a little bit of noise over there with the Raiders. But
so wait, let me ask you this too, Foul. Like with the second pick overall, are you not trading back now? Because let's not forget, there's still.
Wait, I mean, how far back are you gonna fucking trade? Because
you're hoping
you're gonna end up trading yourself out the fucking second.
I'm hoping you could at least still stay into the top 10.
Well, it's only one team.
If you can still keep in the top 10, you still got Miles Murphy, who's a damn good.
But you can't, Frank. You can't anymore. With Detroit's last 2 wins, that whole thing just changed. Remember, Detroit's gonna get the pick.
That the Browns have.
For Matthew Stafford, but their other pick was like 12. Their pick. And
I'll tell you the truth. What's going to be fucking scary is them some bitches decide, we're going to hold on to Goff. And guess what? We're going to take Will Anderson with that motherfucking other pick. And you got Hutchinson.
And Aiden Hutchinson, Will Anderson? Oh,
yeah, that'd be some scary.
I'm straight on that shit.
I mean, you still got the Jaguars, though. Where are the Jaguars at?
They gotta go. They gotta go.
Jaguars,
D-line.
I think, are 7.
They gotta go D-line.
The Jaguars, you think?
I think they gotta go D-line.
I mean, they still desperately need a quarterback too.
Who, the Jaguars? Are you fucking crazy?
No,
Trevor Lawrence. I'm not the Panthers. Sorry.
Oh, the Panthers.
I mean, they'll probably pick a quarterback, but I mean, so here's the thing. Worst kept secret. CJ Stroud. Probably going number 1 to the Texans.
You think? Yeah.
Probably. Now, the next team that pulls up that needs a quarterback, I mean, Detroit has some say-so in it. But if they're riding this Jared Goff train, there's no need for you to pick a quarterback. So now that devalues that pick, right, for getting a quarterback.
If I'm Detroit, if I'm Detroit, I'm not even fucking going quarterback.
Well, that's what I'm saying. At this point, you don't have to.
I don't.
Yeah, I don't
That's
think
the
you
thing.
have to.
I don't have to. Jared Goff has showed me that, and then it seems like their chemistry is coming along with his other wide receivers. So
Yes.
if I'm them,
And they
I'm
got
just going
Jamison
to the-
Williams. Y'all saw
yeah,
that?
yeah,
Woo.
exactly. I'm not going now. If they want to go something like, okay, you know what? Just for shits and giggles, let's go quarterback. We go Bryce Young. You want to know why? Because we got Jamison Williams, whatever the fuck his name is. You know, the former Alabama wide receiver.
Yeah, he played with Bryce Young.
With the former Alabama quarterback. Now you got some rhythm, some camaraderie right there, some chemistry right there, whatnot. So
that's the two are playing, like with Jalen Waddle. That's what, and then what Hurts did with Devontae Smith.
Exactly. That's if you want to do it for shits and giggles. But for me personally, if I'm Detroit, I don't do it. What we need is for the fucking Rams, sorry ass, to fucking win some fucking games, so we ain't got to worry about this shit.
Man,
that's true. But I think at this particular time, would you be mad? Would any of us on this panel be mad if they scale back they pick, if they drop back in the picks?
It depends on how far. Not. It depends on how far you drop it back.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So now we're looking at 5 and 15, 5 and 14. You're out the top 10 now.
Hell yeah. But
hold on. Is this one of those cases where a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush? Just because you got them 2 draft picks don't mean that that's going to pan out. When you got, and I'm not even saying they're short hitters because we don't know.
Nobody knows.
Anderson or Jalen Carter, that's like as close to damage
sure hitters as you're going to get in this draft.
They're going to be something, right? That's as close as you're going to get in this particular draft. Because again, what is this draft? Wide receiver heavy.
Yeah.
Wide receiver. It does depend on compensation bullets, but that's what I'm saying. Like now, as far as who you pick in free agency, hell, the Bears don't even have to overpay long-term contract. The Bears can just overpay with upfront money, upfront bonus money. Think about it. They got enough money to just go ahead and say, I'm gonna give you this for 3 years, but I'm gonna front load you.
Yeah. And
then with the extra $30 million they might get, who's to say the Bears can't buy a whole new team?
What is like, and I don't want this to happen because I want them to address a lot this offseason. But say they do trade back with Carolina and they get another first-round draft pick next year. I'm saying this right now, the next elite wide receiver coming out of college right now is that Marcus Harrison.
You talking about Marvin Harrison's son?
He is unbelievable.
But
he is going to be a top 3 pick next year.
Doesn't mean we're going to get that pick.
I know, but I mean, if you have 2 first-round picks,
and the answer depends on what team that you trading with. I mean, like I put a team like
that's
this.
where I'm still going with.
Let's just say you trade with Detroit.
It's not going to be Detroit because you would get both their first-round picks.
Right, but it would be somebody
you would
like
ask for both of their first-round picks this year. Detroit,
you're not going to get a high pick for them next year.
It would be somebody like Jacksonville or Arizona at this point, who probably is in the market for a big play wide receiver, right? Because let's be honest, the whole Christian Kirk, I thought somebody had put that up. Like that was
Christian Kirk. Yeah.
That was bad when DJ Chark and Zay Jones are actually having better seasons. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if you felt that confident, Frank, now you're trading back. You're putting ourselves back to 2025 just to potentially get 2 picks to the first.
You might even still say 2024 though with you at number 1. And you don't know if he's going to be a number 1. Again, it's hit or miss.
Well, again, you don't know who wants to give up that pick. I'm telling you, like
you're right.
If the Texans get Bryce Young and the Texans get another first-round pick next year, they're going to get Marvin Harrison Jr. in 2024. Yeah. Like that's how you do it. You pair, right? You mix and mesh and you pair. But I don't want to wait for some other team.
Put up Avin Dobbs thing right now. Put up I actually was reading about this today. For one, he does make a lot of money though. Hopkins makes a lot of money. He is kind of injury prone. He is up there in age now. But would you be against that?
I would.
You would?
You know why?
So what do we trade? We trade a first-round pick for D-Hop?
No.
Oh, it's more than just a first-round pick for sure.
Draft pick for
it's more than just a first-round pick.
Because I'm trying to see, like, what are you trading?
I'm not even getting him a first-round pick for him.
But
how old is DeAndre Hopkins?
35,
I think he's on
34, 35.
He ain't that damn old.
I was gonna say like 28,
He's
29,
20
right?
something. He's like,
I thought he was in his 30s.
I was gonna say 28, 29.
Okay, can we have an official age, please?
he's 30 years old.
Oh, okay. He just so, but that's fine.
So
but
how many years do you think he would have left in the tank?
2, 3, maybe.
I mean, with
as
this
an elite
age of
receiver,
not hitting nobody, he could have 4 or 5 easy.
Yeah.
But take that same sentiment. Instead of going after D-Hop, why not go after Calvin Ridley? If you're gonna make
You
trades,
get Calvin Ridley for cheap too, possibly, because nobody knows what he's
I'm
going to
saying
be.
if you want to trade for somebody,
Yeah.
because remember, you ain't gonna get no fresher than him because he ain't played.
Hey, you want to know one? You want to know another one? That
I
you
was
could
just
possibly
about
get
to
a
say,
trade
ain't
for?
he not playing right now?
He's not playing. He's the freshest thing. He coming brand new out the package next year because
He
got
was suspended, wasn't he?
He hasn't
gambling.
played in 2 years.
Yeah.
Well, the first year he got hurt.
The first game of the season, though, I think it
So-
was like the first game of the season.
Now,
So I think
hey, Chris, pull up Calvin Ridley for me.
hey,
He's got to
since
be
you were-
around that 27, 28
since you were
years
talking
old.
about a trade, let me ask you this, and this all relies on one person.
Mhm.
Tom Brady calls it quits. He's retiring.
Mike Evans.
28.
Mike Evans might be available.
Yeah, okay, he's
28.
28.
If Brady leaves,
Shit.
Bucks are going to blow it up.
I don't want Mike Evans either. Mike Evans long in the tooth, man.
The one to go after would be Calvin Ridley. That would be the one to go after, in my opinion.
Mike Evans is
Got a
in his
gambling
30s
issue.
too.
$1,500.
So before our guest comes in, do we want to say anything about this Bills game, or do we want to table it until after we talk to our guest?
Let's do it. Let's finish it with that. Let's do it after we talk to our guest. Is our guest on right now, though?
No, but he said he will be in a minute.
Oh,
So let's talk until he gets on.
So I don't think Marty is going to join us. I think the weather got the best of him, and he said
he ain't no Chicago boy. Then
he said,
He's
"Fuck
worried
it,
about
no."
rain.
He's in
Yeah,
South
Florida.
Florida. So it's raining over there.
That Bills game is supposed to be negative 11 degrees outside.
It's gonna be a run
No,
game.
negative 11 wind chill.
Wind chill.
Nine
Yeah,
I don't give a fuck what it's gonna be. It's gonna be negative 11
Wait,
degrees outside.
if you're there, it's wind chill.
If it's the
count.
wind chill, goddamn it, shit, whatever. It's
Hey,
gonna be
Bills-
negative 11 in that motherfucker.
I still remember
Oh, yeah,
going to
Chris,
one that
you
was
wanna
negative
go to the
30.
game, man?
Hell no. I froze one time before going to a Bears game out. And you know when that was? It was a fucking blizzard too when they played the fucking Patriots that goddamn game. That was
I was
fucking
at
blizzard.
that game.
I was too, and I froze my ass off.
I was at
I
I'm
loved
good.
it.
I was
I'm
at
good.
negative 33 with the wind chill. It was Bears Falcons when Michael Vick was still.
Yeah,
on.
Bears Falcons. I was at that game.
I was at that
too.
game.
And
And
Rex
I
came
will
out
never
like
forget-
Superman.
I will never. Oh my god! I remember when Urlacher laid out Vic. That was so nice.
Yeah.
When Vic just did his scrambling all over the place.
Hey, he wanted to get up out of there. He was cold.
Yeah,
was cold
I don't
as
blame
hell.
him on that
He
one.
would run up under that heater.
Well,
all
you know
I
one
remember,
thing,
I was
Buffalo ain't gonna be cold because they used to playing in this
They
shit.
are.
Yeah.
But
I
my
was
biggest
sitting
thing,
all the way up in the nosebleeds, and that hot chocolate was cold before it ever got to me.
yeah, it was froze. I know.
And
I
the
was at the
beer
Mike
was
Brown
slushing.
game.
It was,
Yeah.
And it was cold as hell. But
So, man, I tell you what, we about to switch up gears a little bit. We're going to talk some hoops. And we got former Bulls big man. You talk about big man moves. You got to talk about Marcus Fizer, first round pick, baby. So let's go ahead and bring him in. Mr. Marcus.
What's going on, fellas?
crazy.
What's up, big man?
Hey,
What up,
How's it
Mark?
going?
what's
How
going
you feel,
on?
bro?
Man, just living out here in Vegas, trying to keep these kids healthy, get through this hectic week. Just
Yeah.
living a life. Blessed. Blessed to still be here amongst the living.
Yes,
All
sir.
right.
I heard that.
How's the weather there?
One
That's not
thing
bad.
I-
It's in it can get in the 40s at night. It's definitely not like home. It got up to 58, 59 today, but it gets cold here.
We're
Like,
supposed to get hit with 20 inches on Thursday.
Who?
Out here. We are.
Y'all got that.
Hey, said who?
Hey, when we said home, Frank, you wasn't talking about Chicago.
I was talking about. I heard home, and I was just like, hey,
No. Well, I mean, yeah, it doesn't get like home in terms
freezing.
of
Okay,
Chicago.
I'm about to say because we about to get snowed out Thursday.
Nah, it doesn't get that. Like if it snows, if it looked like it's gonna snow out here, they letting school out and everything.
I never.
But it does get cold though. It gets cold enough for a nice jacket and everything like that. So it doesn't last long. I mean, we're in the 70s back in February, which is good. I've seen snow in June in Chicago, so
yeah,
we'll take this.
Yeah. Shit, you probably saw all 4 seasons in one day in Chicago.
At a Bears game.
This weather is crazy over here. So what's been going on, Mr. Marcus? What are you doing these days?
I mean, just doing a little bit of everything. Like I said, mainly just raising these kids. Marcus Jr. is a senior now. He goes to Bella Vista Prep down in Arizona. So the last 2.5-3 years, I've coached him here in Vegas. But wanted to put him on a more national televised stage, to be seen and things like that. A high level of basketball, that collegiate level type of basketball. So some good friends down there in Bella Vista, reached out to me and my wife, and we went down and visited and everything, and was able to sign him up down there. So he's home right now, actually, for Christmas. But I mean, that's basically it. Just like I said, just raising these kids, trying to keep everybody safe and healthy, man. Every other week, some kind of different virus going on, and the kids are sick and passing it around through everyone, because they're just not the cleanest in schools. And, you don't want to knock the teachers, but I mean, are they doing as much as they can to, keep everyone healthy? So it is what it is. Just living life, me, wife, and the kids, and my sister and my nieces here with us, and, just being normal people.
Right. That's what's up. Okay. Hey, Marcus, I got to take you back, man. I want to go in the Wayback Machine.
Okay.
Starting with Iowa State, man.
Absolutely, baby.
Kelvin Cato kind of put y'all in the, in the little jab, and then you came with, you was rookie, freshman of the year.
Right.
I believe you was also I know senior year because you was like banging 22 and something. You were definitely Big 12 Player of the Year, right? Balling, but you were ahead of your time. A big man that can stretch the floor.
Yeah.
Shoot that rock.
Things have really
a little bit. Was that Tim Floyd and them guys?
That was Tim Floyd. Tim Floyd, my freshman year. Then he left after my freshman year, and then he came to the Bulls. But definitely, Kelvin Cato, those guys in front of me. But my biggest influence to go to Iowa State and to want to be something at Iowa State was, the hometown Kenny Pratt.
Kenny Pratt.
I mean, KP. I went to Iowa State on a visit. I'm a McDonald All-American. I got all the sweat. Man, KP put it on me. Yeah. Oh my God, my hips, my back, everything was hurting. That really transformed my senior year to being what my senior year in high school was, because I was like, man, KP 6'4" maybe. And Coach Floyd just a dog. Coach Floyd had me working out with them, playing pickup games, and when I got off that floor, I had to cancel some of the appearances that we had because I was just so sore. So I just knew I needed to go home and transform some things, and I definitely appreciate those guys. Everybody always say why Iowa State, why I picked Iowa State. I just fell in love with the place. I fell in love with the culture, and I wanted to, do something profound.
Full transparency.
That's a good one, Antonio.
I was wondering who Tim Floyd. Right. I was gonna wonder, when you picked them, obviously, kudos and love to Kenny Pratt.
Yep.
See this guy to your immediate, my right, your left.
Yeah.
We thought you was going to Michigan or Michigan State, man.
Yeah. Well, see, that's too close to home.
I knew Eastern was out of the play because that's in your backyard.
I mean, Eastern Michigan. Ypsilanti is not. I grew up in Inkster. I was born in Detroit, but I grew up in Inkster, so that's really not. Ypsilanti is not that far. Ann Arbor. My bad. Ann Arbor is not that far from same way. But I left. I've left Detroit my freshman year. Finished high school in Louisiana, and same thing with LSU. I was in school and Shaq and Dale Brown called the high school. And I told him, I said, man, this is too close to home. I know how my family are. I know how I am. You know how mom cooked and all that different stuff. It's too close to home. It's just entirely too close to home. I needed that. I needed Iowa State with no cornfields and nothing but cornfields around, just secluded, focus on, getting my schoolwork, being a student athlete, and playing basketball. And before you know it, those years went by extremely fast. So I mean, I'm grateful for that. I wouldn't have, if it would have been anywhere else, it would have been Michigan. If it would have been right, if it would have been anywhere else, yes, yeah. I mean, my older brother, my older brother played high school football at Robichaud with Tyrone Wheatley. That's always been the right. There's always been the tradition of everyone, around that area. So, but it was just as I got older in high school, I realized, in order to keep that focus, my Detroit people they're a little different. So I had to get away. I had to get away from that.
About it because Steve Smith is one of the biggest advocates. Jalen Rose, they love promoting the D. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course. But I was just a different kid. I was a different kid. I wasn't the, not to say that they were, but I wasn't that all down in the street. Like I said, I was born in Detroit, raised in Inkster. I ain't mess around with Detroit downtown too much. I was really a suburban kid. So my brother, and that's credit to my older brother. God rest his soul. That's credit to my older brother. He, just kept me away from that, kept me from the streets and things like that. I remember just telling stories with my wife, who's from Chicago. I used to walk home with 15 or 20 guys, and this was junior high, 6th, 7th, 8th grade, and I used to be the only one going home, and everybody else was going to the street corner. I had friends who had been shot. We 12 and 13 years old, and here I am, 44, couldn't even fathom being shot. And I remember, friends and stuff being shot when we were 12 and 13 years old, and stuff like that. I just didn't want to be a part of. I wanted to try to have some kind of future, and he ultimately wanted me to have that future too. And, the rest is history.
Man, that's love right there, man. That's always an inspiration, man. The first time I saw you, Illinois State, 1997, y'all had played Iowa State versus Illinois State. You had played NBC, Rico Hill.
Yeah, Rico could play.
Y'all was doing it. Y'all was doing it because he was a freshie, freshie and sophomore. Y'all was doing it, right?
Yeah.
But I was just like thinking back to them days. It was like just watching you just playing how you was playing, just being able to be free and fluid, and it worked because, like I said, we was excited. I know we was excited as hell because you were the number 4 pick, first round Chicago Bull. We needed a guy that can give us post presence and outside. Tell us about that, man. Run into because you were one of
the dynamic of it all is really strange. To be honest, I didn't even work out for the Bulls. We didn't think it was going to happen. Elton Brand was drafted the year before me. So, we knew I was going top 5, hopefully top 5. So that was
22 and 9. Hell yeah.
that was New Jersey, that was Vancouver, that was the Clippers at 3, Bulls at 4, and Orlando at 5. And so the ideal place that we felt, my agent felt, was Orlando. I worked out for Orlando. I worked out for them twice and visited 3 times. I worked out for Vancouver once, Clippers twice, the Nets one time. Everybody knew Kenyon Martin was going number 1. I lived in Chicago, trained with Tim Grover, was in Chicago, had been down to the facility. Tim Floyd was there out of respect and everything like that, and just the atmosphere. But we never assumed that would happen. This is back in the old school where, this 2000. I'm saying old school.
That was 22 years ago. So
right, but this is the green room was set up the way it is now. The green room, we were all behind a curtain. So for the whole shock and awe and the surprise and everything like that, all the cameras was at your table before it was announced. Gotcha. And so once the cameras was at my table, my agent Hank was on the phone, calling the Bulls, what are y'all doing? He didn't come there to work out.
Oh, Rob was on the clock?
Yeah. Yeah. Why y'all drafting him in Chicago when y'all just drafted the power forward there, last year, who was a rookie of the year average double-double and all that different stuff. So I had to come in with that. They tried to pair us together. We're both 6'8". You know, it like you said, if it was now, it'd be a lot different. And then the next year, they brought in Eddie and Tyson,
right,
who were 7-footers. So now it's like
didn't make any sense. But
man, we all young. We all young. We all vying for, you know, trying to had no real. I don't want to say no real veterans, but they were young. You know, at the time when I got drafted, the oldest vet was Fred Hoiberg. He was 26, 27.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, we were bad. I mean, we were just bad. So it was something.
Hoiberg, Iowa State product too, right?
He is, but still, he was only 26. He was only 26.
Didn't he end up coaching the Bulls or something?
That's what he's saying. He was on the Bulls. Yeah,
he was on the Bulls. Yeah,
so
he came to the Bulls.
Tim Floyd have something to do with you being drafted to a team that already had a power forward?
I mean, had to. I mean, I don't. You know, that's a blessing within, but I would have taken, you know, 300,000, 400,000 less to be somewhere else to, you know, get a better start and everything like that. But I mean, listen, I met my wife 2 days after we was drafted. We've been together 22 years. We have kids and family, so it works out. You know what I mean? It works out.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
I just knew you was gonna play the 3, and then when I saw that coach had grabbed Dedrick Willoughby, I was just like, I see what he putting together. You know what I'm saying? I see what he was piecing together.
Man, I
was gonna have his depth lineup. Like
chasing them threes was a little bit different. I mean, you gotta understand. Like I mean, I was a 4, but had to play the 5 in college because we had some 5s that, you know, I guess you say wasn't better than me. So I played the 5. Stevie Johnson played the 4, and then coming to the pros and having to, you know, I'm not trying to.
Cato got drafted,
right. I'm not, because we didn't play together. They were all gone before.
They were gone, right.
So
you had to play the 5.
Right. I mean, chasing Vince Carter and Paul Pierce, I'm not used to this, you know, getting kneed in the quad and stuff like that. Like, come on now. So it was tough. It was extremely tough. My first NBA game that I started was at the 3. I mean, and rightfully so, you had to match up differently with me on the offensive end and you on defense, but still, I mean, when we come down on the other end, you think they're not gonna run me out 3 or 4 screens?
Of course.
I mean, it's like it just wasn't working out. So, but like I said, I mean, it was a blessing within. You know, you take everything at stride, and if everything I went through in my, you know, career was helping my sons, you know, prepare for their career. My oldest son is over in Cyprus playing pro right now, so hopefully he can, you know, continue to build and everything like that. And Marcus Jr. is knocking on the door of going to college, and you know that going the way that it should go.
Any idea where he's going?
I mean, of course, I'm always going to be biased to Iowa State, you know, of course. But you know, he got a couple offers from some schools over here out west. So we're just going to see what happens.
That's huge.
You know, he's 6'6" right now. You know, plays mainly the 2. I think he's more of a 1, but you know, he's 18, 19-year-old kid that's lazy. So we're going to keep pushing it. You know, I mean, I was lazy in high school.
Wait a
minute, it's just how it is.
He 18 and he's 6'6".
Yeah, he grew 2.5. He was about 4.5, 6, right at 6'5". He's about right at 6'4" at the beginning of the summer.
So like 6'8", possibly.
And so we were training this summer when his older brother, like when we say he's 6'6" with his shoes only about 6'7". We were training with his older brother who's 6'7", who's playing pro overseas now. And so we, you know,
that was.
Yeah, what was that?
Can't hear you now.
Can you guys hear me?
Well, you're echoing.
Hold on. What happened?
Sounded like something like fried.
Uh-oh.
That didn't sound good.
Oh, my elbow pulled it out.
Oh, there we go.
So his brother and his teammate, who's a pro also, they're both 6'7". And so we just took pictures of them, you know, first time they were together, whatever. And so when we looked at the pictures, we was like, man, Junior the same size as Monday and Joey. And so we zoom in, and like nobody's on their toes and things like that. We was like, wow, this kid has grown in the last 2.5, 3 weeks to a month. So that was exciting to see that happen. Hopefully he continues to grow and we see what goes from there.
Oh,
you know what? I do want to commend you, my brother, because it's very rare that at a young age you already know what your strengths and weaknesses are when it comes down to family and as far as what it is that you want to do. Like you said, you wanted to sit up there and make sure that you got far away because you already know how your family members are, you know what I'm saying? You know about all the temptations and things, because that's one thing that I went through. My family, they wanted me to stay at home to go to college. I said, nah, I'm getting away from you some bitches.
Had to.
I already know what time it is. I ain't gonna get shit accomplished. I'm gonna be out here partying with y'all ass and shit, get into some shit.
We was in a tournament in Minnesota, and we had gone to practice, shoot around or whatever. Came to the hotel and took a shower. And the phone rang, and it was like, man, there's like 200 Fizers down here in the lobby. And I was like, who? And then he was like, they said they're Fizers, and we had just came through the lobby. I was like, whatever. I thought somebody was pranking me or whatever. Back then people call on the phone, whatever. So I hung up, and they called back again, and they was like, listen, there's about 200 people down here. They said they're Fizers. And, and I could hear him. And I said, let me come down. And I went down in the lobby, and there was people everywhere. And this is in Minneapolis. Imagine if I was in Ann Arbor or in Lansing or somewhere like that. Like, come on, man. They would have been everywhere. And it just would have been a distraction. I just couldn't afford to risk that. I just needed to get away to grow up. And ultimately it happened.
Man,
absolutely. Well. So with your time with the Bulls, Marcus, do you feel that you could have had a different career if you had because if I'm not mistaken, that Orlando pick would have better suited you because they didn't have that position.
Yes.
That was right after Penny had left because of his injury and everything, right?
Right.
2000, right?
Right.
So
absolutely.
Yeah. So what was it that because we're sitting on the field like, man, if you don't start putting marks in the game, man, stop playing. And
that's the thing. That's the thing. Like I was, my second year when Eddie and Tyson came in, they got the Twin Towers, so you got to play them. And then I don't know if it was my second or my third year when Oak and Pip came back. Now these are veterans that you don't want to have them.
Third because Eddie got dealt right before the trade deadline. Your second year, right?
No, he got dealt after the draft for Tyson. He got traded for Tyson.
So that was going into the second year.
Right, going into the second year. And so, like I said, we were bad. So we didn't really have any we were just all young, just trying to vie for, just wanting to hoop. Then it's so different now to know how to win basketball games. Your IQ level as an older player. I retired 35, 36, and, at 35, 36, when I was playing overseas and stuff like that, I was still able to average, 20 points in Spain or in Israel and stuff like that because of just how much smarter I was. I wasn't jumping as high as I was, but I understand that I don't have to jump as high. I know that, if I pump fake you once or twice, you're going to jump on one of these and come down and get an one or whatever and walk to the free throw line. It's a difference. But then, man, come on, we were just everywhere. We were instant millionaires at 20, 21 years old. It was a lot of I don't want to call them nights, but it was a lot of nights where it was a blue outside before my wife saw me coming through the door. And this is 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. We got practice at 10 and just getting something to eat, walking into the gym, jumping out the gym, not getting taped, not getting ice, none of that. Just totally immature and not putting more into the fact of it being a job, not taking care of your body and all that different stuff. And that was ultimately, my biggest downfalls. I tore my ACL twice with the Bulls.
I remember that.
Just not, making sure they're training. Huh?
Year 3 and 4, right before you went to Milwaukee, right?
What do you mean 3 and 4?
Year 3 and 4.
Oh yeah, yes.
I remember it was back to back, and then you just ended up on Milwaukee, and I'm like, what the hell are y'all doing?
Yeah, but I mean, it was definitely nothing of their fault or anything like that. I understood that I didn't take it. Tim Grover was an excellent trainer. His staff was excellent trainers, and we hit it hard. But when you don't be as focused as you should. You know, people say all the time, LeBron put $2 million into his body. You have to do that. Now he's on a different level, you know, monetarily than a lot of other people and stuff like that. But when you have the opportunity to you know, there's other things to do, you know, because with more money comes with more opportunity to do other weird shit too. So, you know, he's disciplined enough to understand that is his money maker and stuff like that. And so that's why he's been able to play as long as he's played. So, you know, there's no doubt within myself. I know that there was a lot of steps that I took that I shouldn't have taken that would have, you know, maximized my career. So me playing 15 years, you know, total, it was those last 5, 6, 7 years was a struggle. You know, I was making good money overseas and stuff like that, but it was a struggle, you know, to be able to do this and do that. Slowed down, got smarter, and just, you know, just allowed it to go from there. But I definitely feel like if it was to the Clippers or to Orlando, you know, Doc Rivers, you know, in a couple of different places he was trying to get me there, you know, because he loved my game. He wanted me to play for him and things like that. And we thought it was going to be Orlando. I had no idea it was going to be Chicago.
They picked Buddy from Michigan, didn't they?
Who?
The Clippers at power forward. What was his name?
No, they picked Darius Miles out of high school.
That was this.
Yeah, D Miles.
That was that.
Okay. Yeah, it was Kenyon, Stromile, D Miles, me, and then Mike Miller. Yes. Yep.
From LSU.
Yep, that's my, and we played high school basketball together, AAU together. So me and Stro grew up together. Yep.
Cool. Yeah, I was gonna. Do you follow the Bulls now?
Oh, of course, yeah. All the time the game's on and I can catch him. Yeah.
So tell me, what are you thinking right now?
I mean, we're definitely missing.
Let's start it off with this though. They did win today.
Did he?
They somehow pulled out.
I didn't even turn it back on.
I don't understand how the hell they do this.
I mean, it's the NBA. Listen, we were down in Orlando with T-Mac down there. I remember one year we went into the locker room up by 30 and lost by 30. It happened just like that. It happened so quick. Up by 30 and lost by 30. So it happened so quick. But I think we're definitely missing Zoe. Maybe the identity is the same thing. You know, guys are really trying to, because the talent is there. The talent is absolutely there.
You think it's coaching?
I'm about to say I blame coach.
I hit on Mike. I hit on coaching on this one.
If the coaches have lost the locker room, of course, it's definitely going to be. Sometimes it's X's and O's, you know, but mainly is, you know, do the guys want to play for this guy? You know, if the guys want to play for that guy, they want to, you know, come out for him and do what they do. You know, that's going to happen. But I need to watch more games. Sometimes I mix them. Sometimes I get to catch them and things like that. But I just can't pinpoint what it is. I can't pinpoint what it is because the talent is there. People say that about us too.
Let me ask you this, since you were pretty much a big too. This was always a question that we always talk about on the podcast when we're talking about the Bulls. We'll just go like one of their more recent games. Their center Vucevic, he was all-star center in Orlando.
Right.
He comes out and he's in the post 50% of the time in the first quarter. Puts up 10 points out of like 70% shooting. He's in the post the rest of the game. Maybe 3 or 4 times. Is that on the player or is that on the coaching? Because they always seem to run a high pick and roll with him, and he's always jetting out to the 3-point line or to the edge for his.
Maybe Lopez in Milwaukee is rubbing off on him a little bit. They said the other day he's 4 for 15 from a 3, and I'm like, how in the hell is he getting up 15 threes?
Exactly.
Like,
thank God Vooch
doesn't. He doesn't.
He doesn't put up that many.
He probably wants to
put up that many.
But it's a little bit of both. It's a little bit of both. You know, you got to have coaches that's going to challenge the player no matter what their stardom is. Yeah. But this is a different dynamic in the pros. You know, you got guys making 20, 30, 40, 50, and $60 million a year now. But at the same time, you got to be receptive to coaching. You got to be receptive to that coaching to maximize it as a team. And if you're not going to be receptive to it and you just there, to get your numbers and get a check, then that's ultimately the way it's gonna be. I've had some people ask me before, like Andre Drummond, like his numbers are he got crazy numbers when you let him play. But if his numbers is not making the team better and he's just out there getting his numbers and the team is losing, then that's just not the fit for the team. No matter where, he is as a player or who he is. I totally, I love Russell Westbrook to death. Shouldn't be in LA. He absolutely shouldn't be in LA.
I agree.
Absolutely shouldn't be in LA. No matter what, like, you got to understand that if it's not working, it doesn't matter what my numbers are, coming off the bench start or whatever it is. If it's not working as a team, then it's just not going to be conducive to winning ball games. And if you're there for a check, people are going to identify you as being there for a check. If you're there and have the love and crazy as Kobe, when you have $150 million and $700 million in the bank, that's the difference.
Yeah, and it's funny how you brought up Drummond too, because we'll just take the last game other than this one. Minnesota scored 150 points on them.
Who?
150 Minnesota
150 to 126.
150 points.
And let's just mention they didn't have Rudy Gobert or
but they still have a big team. Like, that's the key thing with them. The Minnesota Timberwolves are a big team. Andre Drummond played 11 minutes that game. In the post-game interview, Donovan said he was playing matchups and he wanted to match small ball against their big ball.
Mm-hmm.
How does that make sense?
That's where it goes to me.
That makes no sense.
And that's why I said, Marcus, right there, that it has to do with coaching.
Right.
Because for the simple fact, you can't – it's coaching in the front office. Mm-hmm. First of all, you sit up there, your player's strength and your weaknesses, because these are some of the reasons why you sit up there and you spend money on. Vucevic for second, for instance. Great low post scorer, can step out, shoot the three. Great. What's his weakness? Defense.
Mm-hmm.
So you would think smartly that you would pair him with a tall guy that can block shots, grab some rebounds, and play some defense. That ain't what the fuck they do.
Right.
They go and get
We have
Pat Williams, who's 6'7".
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's an athlete. He's okay on defense, but he's not gonna block no shots. He's not a rebounder like that, and he's damn sure gonna struggle against most power forwards that's taller than him.
Yeah, he should rebound better than what he does. If you're getting the minutes in the NBA and you're a big, you should flat-footed catch 4 or 5 rebounds. Because don't nobody board like that. Yeah. Don't nobody board like that. Like, you may see every once in a while somebody have 20 rebounds and stuff. I had a 30-20 game with the Bulls, and and it was like, man, just where'd you get? Like, I caught 7 of them, 8 of them. Just standing flat-footed. Mm-hmm. If you just got to have that effort to knock somebody in the mouth and go get it, because it's going to be there. And I remember, like yesterday, even that 30-20 game, Fred Hoiberg had 15 rebounds. I got in the locker room and tell him, listen, next game you try something like that, I don't care. We did go to the same school. You know how many NBA records I could have broke? Like, I'm boxing out and you coming down the middle of the lane and getting the rebound. So, I mean, I definitely feel like Pat is a talent, but now it's the long ball that's sexy. It's the pop and the pick.
And that's something the Bulls don't have. They don't have a long ball shooter.
But everybody's shooting them, though. Right?
They shoot a lot of them.
That's the thing.
That is absolutely true. Everybody is shooting them.
But don't you think that's kind of ironic, because the team that ultimately, again, Golden State will always be the anomaly.
Right.
Everybody wants to be them.
The teams that actually get there, like Milwaukee, right?
Uh-huh.
Like even with Phoenix. Like, you have to get them half-court sets. You have to get that ball moving in motion. The thing where I look at Billy Donovan, when I watch the Bulls, it seems to be ISO ball. Like, okay, now it's your turn. Now it's your turn. Now it's your turn. But when the clock runs down, DeMar, like, it's my turn. Right. Nobody else's turn. And I'm not saying because we from the era where the Michaels, the Kobe's, the AIs, that's what they do.
Isolation basketball.
And I'm not saying that there's not a point to where you have to play like that. But with this Bulls team, because the first glaring thing is Billy Donovan, from his inception, has never played with an offensive-minded center.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think he really knows how to use Vucevic. He comes from the Kendrick Perkins, the Steven Adams. Even when Porter, like, I love Joakim Noah. Joakim Noah wasn't no 20 and 12 guy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he'd get it occasionally.
He was more like a 12 and 20.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, he wasn't the threat offensively that Vucevic can be.
Right.
In old school ball, you come down there, you got to get a touch or two before that ball go up.
Right. Right.
When
that's
they
difference.
do that with Vooch, they just toss it to him in the low post.
Uh-huh.
He always, even when he's not shooting that well, he always gets a double team. He makes a great pass, finds a wide open shot. Beautiful. They don't do it the next play. Keep doing it until it doesn't work.
That's concerned about my numbers. That's, now I'm not getting any up. My touch, my reps, and things like that. I mean, in order to have that success, you're going, if this year is going to be a little bit lower than last year and vice versa, that has to happen. But like you said, that goes to the. It was really high. It was really high.
Yeah,
it was really high, and it was about as high as this year.
Hold on. What did you say? You said what?
It was really high, and it was, to me, it was as high this year coming in. Now, I don't think I expected Zoe to be out this long. I'm kind of trying to figure out what's going on with that, but that's a big piece, of what's going on running the offense, like having a true point guard that can throw it and pass it, and all of that. So that's a lot to do with what's going on offensively. But at the same time, once he comes back, are they going to get away from what they've been accustomed to? Because if you've been getting your numbers by how I've been operating, it ain't fun when it changes. They talking about Kyle Kuzma wanting to go back to LA, or they thinking, I'm like, nah, you better stay out there where right. Stay
like Lonnie Walker or somebody like
right. Like why would you? You was just with LeBron, waiting for the pass to come. Now they throw it to you, and you can, throw up as many sky hooks across the lane as you want to, and see if half of them go in. Stay where you at. If that works for you, stay where you at. If that's helping the team win, stay where you at. If it's not, then you try to do something a little bit different.
I think it's three problems that's wrong with the Bulls. One, the coaching. I think Billy Donovan, I always said he's average to slightly above average coach in the NBA. In college, very different. He's probably a good to great coach.
Right.
Two, DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan has to figure out something inside his game and realize this ain't fucking California. Everything ain't ISO ball. Because you will sit up there and literally DeMar DeRozan and go grab the rebound, dribble the ball up the fucking court, and ain't nobody else gonna touch it. And there are reports coming out now that I guess Zach is frustrated with it too.
He is.
And other players are frustrated. Yeah, they had a blow up because if you watch the game closer, you'll see DeMar take all these shots and like everybody else waiting. So then when a player like Zach or somebody else gets the ball, they're going to sit up there and get the shots because if they pass it back to that some bitch, they ain't getting it back.
Right.
He's going to take the shot. He don't give a fuck if there's 2-3 people on him, And then thirdly, they miss. People do not actually sit up there and realize how important a real floor fucking general
They
is.
don't. They don't.
A floor general is
listen.
critical.
Listen, they want to Iowa State me to death and all that, and a great year and all that. I said, listen, if Jamal Tinsley wouldn't have came to Iowa State, then I would have been probably okay that last year. When you have a floor general, I owe my career at Iowa State to Jamal Tinsley. I'm talking about I can get the board and drop it off and just go and not even looking, and the ball just buzzing by my hand right there. Come on now. When you have that kind of floor general and somebody that's going to run the ball club. I saw something on Instagram the other day. You're talking about Bobo playing point guard. I'm like, listen.
That dude, he's real. I don't mean to cut you off.
He can play.
That dude
He can play.
fucking play.
He
I
can.
wanted the Bulls to get that something so bad. God damn, I could smack AK ass right now.
And so I said on it, I said, first of all, point guard is a position that does things to run a ball club. I don't know what Baller Alert or whatever it was on. Like that. That's what I do on social media. Like I challenge people like really mentally. Because over 95% of people are ignorant and don't know what they're talking about. So I said, a point guard does point guard things to run a ball club. I said, just because you can handle don't make you a point guard. Exactly. I said, it looks like it's a young kid that's out there playing basketball with the talent that he's been had that he didn't have an opportunity to show before. But let's stop calling him a point guard because he's not a point guard. Like you don't want that's why Marcus Jr. plays the 2 and the 3 because he don't want those point guard responsibilities. But he's the best pass on the team. He's big and long. I try to tell him, you 6'6", 6'7" with a long wingspan. You better get into your game because when you go to college, you think that college coach is not going to use you for them talents, and it's going to be harder then. That changes the whole dynamic of the entire game. And with Zoe not being there, I mean, those are the results. You can have the 2 to shooting. If the 2 turns into the 1 now, because that's the best player and we got to have him on the floor, what is he passing it for? It worked early for him last year. He was the MVP, race and chance and all that different stuff and going to be an all-star and all that. He's not going to change that now. Why?
Right. Why would he? And Donovan, to me, has totally lost control because if anything, like with Kobe White, Alex Caruso, like, the only other person in my mind, aside from Io, but Zach LaVine played point when he was at UCLA.
Yeah.
He ran a lot of one responsibilities. But they don't even let him bring the ball up to the point where he's running the offense. It's almost like
he's just running off of screens or he's or taking isolation.
But again, when I look at and this is why I say sometimes you have to blame the totality.
You got to, yeah. Right.
GM, because I can't even blame Mark Eversley because he's the actual GM, but he's like a silent partner.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's all about AK.
He just collecting a fucking check.
AK runs
but when you don't put anything around, because you knew last year that Lonzo was iffy as far as what was going on with his knee.
Right.
Then you draft Daylon Terry.
Yeah.
Like you could have went. You had a couple of dollars. I would have went after Malcolm Brogdon. That's just me. But you feel me, Mark? I would have went after Malcolm.
Yeah.
Like let's put something
with the
in
pick.
place.
Yeah. Right.
And I feel that AK has failed us as a Bulls fans and as a city. And then when we look at the future, DeMar ain't getting no younger.
Mm-hmm.
Zach is like the Lakers are almost tampering trying to get him at this point.
No, they are tampering.
Look,
ridiculous.
I'm glad you said it.
That shit is ridiculous. Right. It is ridiculous.
They call his ass every 5 minutes.
Like, hey, let's go out to dinner. Oh, LeBron and Zach LaVine just happen to be in the same restaurant.
Right.
Really?
Right, exactly.
Well, did I hear you say Alex Caruso is not a point guard?
He's not.
He's a defensive-minded two-guard.
He can play point guard, but he's not a true point guard.
He's not a point guard. I put it to you like this. A true point guard is a Chris Paul. A true point guard is a Jason Kidd. They always ask Jason Kidd, how did you become so good? He said, you know what? He said, when I was out there playing basketball as a shorty, I played with all the older, bigger guys. Them motherfuckers wouldn't let me shoot. So guess what I did? I ran the team. I passed the damn ball all the time. That's what I did. And as you saw throughout his career, Jason Kidd wasn't no great scorer. He wasn't even a good scorer.
No, it wasn't until late.
He was a
great because he ended up getting the
he was a great floor general and he was a great fucking passer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I mean, like when
we're
talking like,
shit too.
And you were saying it perfectly about like Lonzo. Like, let's not forget when Lonzo was in this lineup last year, the first half of the season, we were third in the NBA in assists.
Yeah.
Third in the NBA in assists. When he left, 31st.
Hey, but don't forget, look at how he ratcheted up the defense. We can't stop nobody.
Absolutely. Yeah. He is your perfect floor general on both offense and defense.
What is wrong with his knee?
He made sure everybody was.
He had
a second operation on his knee. He had a second surgery on the same knee.
And in this knee, they so-called fixed it, but they come to find out when they opened it back up, to do a second surgery that there were little pieces of bones or something that
They
was
said
stuck
it was
in there.
debris.
That was stuck in there. So they removed the
causing
debris
irritation.
because he was so irritated by it he could barely fucking walk.
Yeah. And I've had debris in my knee. Like when you feel it move, it's gonna hit a nerve that almost you can't control.
That's what it was. It was
right. You can't. It's just like one of those, And once they clean it up,
But it seems like he's not responding well to the surgery too, because
I don't know if it's not responding well or just the fact that that's how they do now. Like an ACL would get you right. An ACL would get you 12 to 15 to 18 months now. I got my first one. I got my first one in January, and Tim Grover had me back by the start of training camp. The second one was in April, and I was on the floor by November because we was going 6 days a week, 7 days a week, and hitting it harder. But now it's so much different. You don't know about the endorsement deals and stuff like that. Love D Rose to death. D Rose went through that. Adidas said, "Hey, we giving him more than y'all giving him in shoe money. We're gonna take the thing out 2 or 3 years to make sure that knee is right before we put him back on his floor." And this the pressure from the endorsements and making sure everything is right. So I mean, Kawhi had ACL. Kawhi ain't supposed to be back by now. It's like, that's how it is.
Different dude, man.
but see, isn't that telling, Marcus? Because now it's like, if your job is to play basketball.
Yeah, the ink didn't dry though.
Right, the ink ain't dried, right? And
no. On the contract, once that ink is dry, hey, it is whatever. It is whatever.
But your contract and endorsements elsewhere can dictate policy.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And
that's not ball, man. I'm a dinosaur. I'm a throwback. I'm 82 games a year. Like, come on,
right.
Like, let's get it.
Right. That's the era. That's the era when MJ was making 3 and Kukoc was making 7. It's different now. It's different now. Like I told like my players and stuff like that. I said, Solomon Hill had a $70 million contract. They said, who the hell is Solomon Hill?
Exactly.
They said, who is Solomon Hill? Like Tim Hardaway Jr. I remember Tim Hardaway Jr. was a little shorty, and me and Tim Sr. had the same agent. Mm-hmm. And he's a Hall of Famer, and Timmy has made 2 or 3, times as much as his dad did. Yep. Rick Brunson and Jalen Brunson, man, Rick played together. Yep. Jalen got got $150 million contract. It's so much different. The money is so much higher. The fans on Facebook and all on social media are trying to ask, well, why this and why that? I tell them, listen, the money is different. I was a number 4 overall pick. The 29th, 30th pick made what I made back then. Like now, almost out of the first round.
Wow.
Almost out of the first round.
I didn't know because I know they recalibrated.
The calibration is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. The 4th pick now make about $40 million. Easy. You have to change the dynamic because the money is so much crazier now. We got to make sure that the talent is. That's why when they go to these different cities, somebody's going to do their load management or take the night off. They hear what the fans are saying. They hear about the complaints. They don't care about that in the league office.
Now you just explain why they really doing Zion like they doing.
Oh,
yeah.
They said he could have been came back.
Could have been came back. They gave him a whole year. His foot wasn't even broken or anything like that. Or it wasn't like he didn't have to have a rod or something put in. Right. And he missed the whole entire year because he got that Jordan endorsement. And, they signed him to that extension and stuff like that. He played he missed a whole year and then still signed for the max.
Yeah. That's why they said Lonzo should be back. Yeah, Lonzo should be back. I think around after All-Star break, they talking about us when they expect him to be back.
We're gonna be out of it by then.
And if we're out of it by then, don't expect him not to miss the entire year.
But now, so wait, are we tanking for Gabriel Windin, whatever his name is?
They're not going to be that bad to sit up there too.
Because that's not a guarantee either. Like
That's
to
definitely
tank
not a
for
guarantee.
Ball Part 2, because people sit up there, they so infatuated with this dude. Tell you the truth, I like him.
I like him.
Is better. Boy, he can't dribble like boy. He
I'm
can't shoot like boy.
I'm not gonna say I don't like him, but we've seen this story before.
We've seen it.
Didn't work out.
We've seen the unicorn. We've seen Porzingis. We've seen, they've been solid and things like that. But it's like that is tall.
Yeah,
that is really tall.
Really abnormal.
Right. And when you got guys who have a lower center of gravity hitting them knees and hitting them hips and stuff, like, come on now. Like I done got hit by Danny Fortson, boxing out his chin.
Bruh. Cincinnati.
Come on, man. That type stuff right there, like if you're not ready for that, you're not gonna understand. What's the kid for Oklahoma that missed the entire year? Just got drafted. Chet.
You talking about Chad?
Chet Holmgren.
Chet Holmgren.
Well, he got hurt. He got hurt in summer league though. Didn't he?
But still, he's frail as hell, and that was off his foot.
That was literally him coming out of the draft. He was like that too.
Right.
They were always worried about him being injury prone. And didn't even make it past summer league.
That was so stupid. That wasn't summer league. That was like
that was like an exhibition game,
right?
Well, was
it summer league game? Yeah,
crazy.
No, it was in that Seattle Pro-Am thing or something.
Pro-Am, yep. That was one of them Pro-Am games, yep.
That was ridiculous for them to even allow him to do that.
He played the summer league, and then the next day he played.
Yeah. That was ridiculous.
I bet his ass won't be playing no more.
I guarantee you he won't.
So Marcus, let me ask you this.
But that ink has dried.
I'm loving your mindset right now. Finally, actually speaking to you in person as opposed to shaking your hand. What would you do right now if you was in the GM/president of operations spot? What would you do, or what could you do to fix the Bulls currently? Because remember, our pick is not our pick. It's right. So, and I'm already giving him a knock for drafting Daylon Terry. So let me just be the first.
You have to assess, but Daylon Terry can be that piece if the rest of the pieces are right. Right, like what's going on with Kobe? Is he going to be the point guard? Was he the point guard? Can we move him?
Never a point.
He's never a point guard.
But remember, they said they want Daylon Terry to start playing. They compared him to say that he's got Penny Hardaway type attributes.
That's tough.
I don't see it.
I've coached
we haven't been able to see it.
Whoever said that shit need to be drugged.
Because he actually played some point guard in Arizona. He did.
But listen, I'm out here in this West Coast high school. Don't even. Not even close. Now, everybody's not going to be that prototypical point guard, but the good prototypical point guards aren't, crossing over. Like Allen Iverson was the anomaly with that, crossover and everything like that, but was he really that point guard? Like if he was a couple of inches taller, he would have been a 2.
Well, actually, Eric Snow was the point guard.
Thank you. And McKay. So that's that type. If he can run the ball club, if it takes moving it to the wing and you run to the corner and coming up, it's like I said, you got to know that position to run that position. If that's not in the cards, then let's find out somebody. Let's identify what he really is as a player and see, can we move him, package him with someone else or something like that. Assess what's going to happen with Zoe. How long is it going to take him to come back? Are we going to sit him, all year long to prepare for the next season? Which, if this season is like, you don't ever want to say tanking. If you don't want to say tanking, but if it's best for us to rest him going into next season, going into the draft and figuring it out, then let's figure that out. And I know everybody else is getting older.
Tanking right now.
Huh?
We got enough Chicago teams tanking right now.
They just got to identify what's going to be best for.
I can't take another fucking tank team. God damn.
Who tanking?
The
Bears are tanking.
The Bears are tanking. Oh my God, they're tanking so terrible.
The Bulls ain't shit. The Blackhawks ain't shit. God,
Marcus, who is the best point guard you ever played with? Because you played with a few of them. Who was the best point guard you ever played with?
I played with Chris Paul.
I'm saying New Orleans.
Yeah, I played with Chris Paul.
So that's one of the best point guards ever.
Yeah. Definitely, I'm always going to be biased to Jamal Tinsley without a doubt. I had fun with Jamal Crawford, but he really wasn't the point. I guess Kurt Heinrich was more the point.
And it's funny that you said that right there because don't mean to cut you off, but that was one of Jerry.
Yes, you did. That's the
no. Because we was talking about the thing was we were talking about point guards, and when he said about point guards, just because you can dribble, that's the prime example. Because Jerry Krause actually drafted Jamal Crawford out of Michigan to be a damn point guard, and that's what it was.
Him and Jay Williams
because he could fucking dribble and all that shit didn't make him a point guard.
Well, that's the thing. Like Jamal wasn't a point at Michigan; he was that scorer.
He was a scorer.
Exactly.
He was a scorer
for 10 games.
But Jerry didn't. The Bulls didn't draft Jamal. Cleveland drafted Jamal. The Bulls drafted Chris Mim and switched the pick for cash. Right. So if you wanted the young fella, right. But that's the point that I'm saying about this whole dynamic of money and all that. You knew you wanted him. Why didn't you just draft him at the like you got more money, paid him less, and got the player that you wanted, and then you put him in a position that he didn't really play. So it's just, I mean, we were just everyone in the air stuff
because you had Jay Williams. So
then we got Jay Williams the next year, and it was the same scenario with him. Like Jay coming in and being drafted high, Jamal was there, me being drafted behind Elton, and then Eddie and Tyson coming there. Like it was just you couldn't tell what was going on with what there.
Well, we know Jimmy rising off a cheap ass shit.
No, it was a lot of people that made some questionable decisions.
Yeah. I mean, look at the decisions they made about Michael Jordan.
I didn't think that team needed to be done.
Oh man, they still had something left in the tank.
So back to my original question, because everybody keep cutting you off, and I'm gonna get on them when you get off. I'm gonna cuss them out. I need for you to finish your statement when you were going. Like, how would you fix the Bulls currently? Because I don't see money wise, draft pick wise. I don't see it out, and that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to have to get creative. You're going to have to get creative, and you're going to have to lose in some spots. If it's monetarily, if it's players and stuff like that. Like people don't remember how bad the Celtics were a few years ago. And they played in the finals last year. So if you ride it out a little bit, stat picks and things like that, or make some trades here. Move some people that's popular. There's maybe some unpopular moves. If it's going to help the ball club, that's going. If it's going to help the ball club, then it's going to.
Because nobody want DeMar.
I mean, package them. They may fit better in LA. They may fit better.
LeBron wants
I don't want to give LA nothing. I don't want to give LeBron James.
You got to. But for how long is it going? Like. If people talking about he's waiting around for Bronny, listen, I'm the coach Bronny. Like, it is gonna be a couple years before he's there. If he's there.
I know that too, but I ain't never want to say nothing on nobody's. I don't speak ill on people's children.
I'm a coach. I'm a coach.
It ain't speaking.
I'm a coach, and I'm coaching.
Speaking truth, goddamn.
Right. Like Bryce is gonna be better. Bryce,
the younger one.
Bryce, right? Bryce got a lot of Bron in him.
Nice.
Bronny is athletic. He's a first kid, so he got all of the, everything. But once Bryce feels into this body and all that, it's gonna be really, really scary. But I'm not taking anything away from Bronny. They say 6'2", 6'3". He's very, very smart. He definitely got the IQ of his dad, and he's learning. He has his dad there to guide him and everything like that. But you got that narrative going on. Is he going to be around? Is he going to hang around for that? And yada yada yada. Is he going to stay in LA? So you never know how long that's going to happen or is going to be there. I think I saw Vooch and DeMar to LA for.
It was for Westbrook in the next 2
and
picks.
some picks, right?
Yeah, who the hell smoking some shit?
God,
even think about doing that.
That was the
yeah. I saw that too.
Yeah, that's what I saw. And I thought to myself, I don't understand why we would do that, but at the same time, I get it. I get it. It's not working right now. Then that Russ trade is going to be expiring, and then we can do something with these picks.
Yeah.
Right. And then do some other
picks
stuff.
are late. They're
what
not
is 27 and 29?
Yes, it is. Because remember, you can't trade back to back.
Then it'd be fucking 50 by the time that shit kick in.
Right, but then you get those picks, and then the draft comes around, and then you try to package those picks somewhere else. Like you forget about those picks after a little while, and then they pass it along, and then you end up with a 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 pick like Boston Celtics, and then now you're in a championship. Just run into a juggernaut like Golden State, and they couldn't miss a shot, and they ultimately won. So, being able to get there, I mean, would you mortgage the future for that with some picks? I mean, it's so weird that it can come back around. So,
Marcus, not with this regime.
I don't know this regime.
They gave Billy Donovan a fucking extension.
They gave him an extension, like a week.
They gave him an extension, like a week or two.
This son of a bitch ain't did shit. They gave this
him a 4-year extension.
I can't believe shit.
Let me tell you a little tidbit. I've won a lot of money for people that don't know ball, like you stated, and they'll be like, "How could you diss Billy Donovan? He took Kevin Durant and them to the finals." I said, "That was Scott Brooks." That was Scott Brooks. I said, "Bet money." That was Scott Brooks took them boys to the finals.
Number one,
and it was fired the next season.
And then, number one, and then two, that was Durant, Westbrook, and James Harden when they was extremely young.
Tell me about it.
So, but then they got to the finals and lost.
Ooh,
so,
shit, I mean,
right. So, like you said, dynamic coach as college, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. We've seen it work out at Iowa State with Fred Hoiberg. Then he came to the Bulls, and didn't work out at all. Got his check, and now he's back in college. It happened with Tim Floyd. It happened with a lot of it. It happened with Rick Pitino, Calipari. It happens with a lot of them. Some coaches are just better with younger men. The money. I'm not gonna say the money is different now. Now I can say the money is different. Back then, it wasn't supposed to be about the money, but we know better than that. But college coaches get players to transfer. In the pros, players get coaches fired. Right. Phoenix had almost made it to the finals one year, and next year Scott Skiles was fired. So you never know because the locker room just didn't like him. J. Kidd didn't like him. Some other people didn't like him, and they got him out of there. So
Steve Nash, most recently,
right, things like that.
He played like 1 year, and he just coached, didn't he?
Well, so for the Iowa boys was actually running Chicago basketball for a second.
The Iowa? Oh, Iowa. What do you mean?
Yeah, you had Tim Floyd. You had Fred
Hoiberg. That's the Krause.
If I'm not mistaken, John Paxson is from Iowa.
No,
John Paxson was from Notre Dame, but Gar Foreman.
One of them.
He was the coach of Iowa State.
I said we get another motherfucker from goddamn Iowa running this goddamn squad.
He was my assistant coach my freshman year.
Yeah.
That recruited me at Iowa State, and he came to Chicago when Tim went to Chicago, and even Brian Hagan. Brian Hagan is there now. Brian was like one of the head managers. Affectionately, we used to call him the head dick. But now he's in a position like, I mean, that it's just weird. Since gone, retired, and different things or whatever, got players and stuff like. People won't pick up the phone for you, all kind of different stuff. And I'm like, I remember when, like I used to give you my sandwich because, they gave me two and they didn't give you none. That type stuff. You know what I mean? So it's a little different. Those titles definitely do different things or whatever. And maybe that's why, things are different in this organization versus that one. You just can't go off of tradition and what MJ and Scotty and those dynasty teams did there because they're not coming back through the door.
So we talk about coaching, and you're coaching now. But
right.
Do you ever have aspirations of moving up, so to speak, to college and then NBA?
Yeah, I wanted to make sure my boys were out of high school and solidified, either in college and the pros and yada yada yada. Before I did that, I thought that, and I thought that being able to be a part of what they were doing, AAU, high school, and stuff like that. And I'm not the head coach. I'm one of the assistant coaches that does the basketball stuff. Personal development, training, things like that, talking sense into your head and making you think this and that and then this. I said, listen, never mind what you think or possibly my, NBA or 15-year pro career, how it was and stuff like that. We're not even talking about that because, that's so far away from where you're going to be in however many years. But I was a high school All-American. I was a McDowell All-American, the highest, accolade you can get in high school. Yes, then I became a collegiate All-American. The consensus first in Iowa State history. So if I'm a pro at anything, I damn sure know those two levels that I'm trying to teach you at now and teach you at the next level, that you're going to. So that's what I focus mostly on. There's just the development, making sure that the kids are progressing, because ultimately my goal is, if only thing we can do is get these kids education paid for, that's the first thing. And if whatever else transpires after that, and we go along with that route also. But it's not, I'm not trying to run no organization. I'm not trying to be no head coach and this and that, and once my boys are gone and out, my oldest son is already a pro, helping him, continue to level up. Marcus Jr. is on his way to college and ultimately will be in pro. And once he's in those ranks, then I can start, thinking about, getting everything's, which way, what direction that I want to do from there. But until then, I was more focused on helping them and staying in, being around for them and that development.
Great role model for sure.
Love that, man. That's
appreciate it.
Man, that's profound and telling, man.
Appreciate it.
So, Marcus, you spent significant years in Chicago, and we always ask everyone this: what kind of food did you eat when you were here? Did you go fried chicken hunting or
nah? I mean, we lived in Northbrook, in Deerfield. We lived in the north suburbs. Right here.
So you know what I'm
saying? So, nah, my wife is from out south, out in Harvey. That's where my wife, was raised, and she went to Bremen High School. She played sports, played basketball at Southern University and everything like that. So she knows the game and all that stuff too. The DNA is definitely in our kids. But, we just, whatever. Of course, Portillo's. Didn't try to mess around with McDonald's as much or whatever, different places. But that was 20 years ago when the metabolism was a little bit different than what it is now. Right. So we just did in Chicago, you try to stay the most out of the way because it's Chicago. We love Chicago to death, without a doubt. But my agent used to tell me, when you go to see your girl, go in your fastest car. I'm like, what do you mean? You just go in your fastest car. So, that was the advice that I got. Get in and get out. The NBA security used to tell us, like, listen, you got to run somebody over. You got to get out the way. Just we'll deal with whatever later. Like, y'all in the area, neighborhood, you're not comfortable about what's going on. Just, get yourself out, get the family safe, and we deal with everything else later. So for that fact, being so high up north, we used to go up to Gurney Mills a lot over in that area, and in the Deerfield area, there's a lot of nice restaurants and stuff. But we're mostly homebodies. My wife's from Chicago, so she can cook. Families and stuff like that could cook. So we spend just a lot of time at home, and in off season we spend a lot of time back home in Louisiana too. So
nice.
I'm just a country boy. Yeah.
New Orleans, red beans and rice and all that shit.
So can I ask you one question without you getting mad?
Yeah.
Who's your GOAT?
MJ. MJ, without a doubt. Now, I'm basketball biased. Well,
that's all we asking. Basketball.
I'm more football. Football is my first love. Still my favorite sport.
Okay. Tight end?
No, I play quarterback.
6'8",
6'8" quarterback, huh?
Damn.
I can really throw. I can throw the shit out of the ball. My youngest brother played like wide receiver, and like when we was doing like recruiting tapes and stuff for him, Like coach was like, "Who's that quarterback?" And he was like, "That's my brother that's in the NBA." And he was like, "Get the fuck out of here!" I'm like, no, I mean, I was so much bigger than everybody else. I didn't know NFL players were my size. If I had have known NFL players were my size, I probably would have converted to tight end or something like that. I love the defensive end and stuff like that, but being a receiver is more sexier. And my speed and hands and stuff like that, I probably would have played tight end. But definitely MJ. I what LeBron is doing and has done is amazing. He's not the most talented guy offensively, but shit, he does everything well. He doesn't handle the ball extremely well, but on the outside of that, huh?
He's all right.
You can't take it from him, so but definitely MJ was just a different level of a dude. Like, even when I caught him, 36, 37 years old.
You caught him in the Wizards.
Right. But I caught him a couple years before he came back training with Tim Grover, at Hoops the Gym.
Tim Grover, right.
Right. I was training at Hoops the Gym, man.
Hoops the Gym over there off of Randolph.
Right. Me, Twan Walker, and Rico Hill, all us guys. We was up in there. I mean, like Tim used to have to lock the door. We used to have some knockout battles up in there. And I used to say to myself, man, ain't no way in the world I could have seen this dude in his 20s. Like it was just a different once you get past the aura of what he is, because he cheats like shit. Oh my God.
He said he cheats.
Oh my God. Like I told him, I said, man, listen, you the greatest of all time. Like you stepped on the line. We know these NBA referees, you brought them in here, and this is your gym with Tim's and everything like that. But dude, if you stepped on the line, that's out of bounds. Of course, they didn't give us the ball, but we won anyways. But I just couldn't imagine seeing him as hungry as he was during those championship years. If he wouldn't have retired, that would have been 8 straight. Without a doubt, that would have been 8 straight.
I feel that way too. A lot
just of ridiculous amount of talent. Like I'm a firm believer in God, have faith, but if I ever think anything was unfair, that was that was a little unfair for him to be up there and everybody else is just, but to me, then, it's probably LeBron and then, Kobe. Kobe was definitely, wow. Kobe was, I don't think he was better than Mike, but he was closest one.
Yeah.
He's definitely the closest one.
That's why I chose Kobe over LeBron in mine.
He wasn't as athletic, but you just got to talk. Like people want to talk about LeBron being 4-6 in the finals, but shit, 10 finals is 10 finals. I don't give a damn what you say. Like
you got there,
you got there, and with some subpar, talent around him and things like that. If he would have went 10 for 10 or would have been 7-3, I think people would still feel the way about him because they just don't want anyone to dethrone MJ. And for me, as a basketball biased guy, like you got to understand, MJ dad didn't know he was going to be MJ. They say his brother was better.
Right.
You didn't know that. We don't know who LeBron James' dad is. But do you think that he would have thought that his son was going to be LeBron James? And he ultimately turned into, so you don't know what you have or what's going to be coming up. There will never be. You can't never say that because it ultimately can happen because the greatest of all times that we see now, we wouldn't. I mean, look at Leo Messi. I mean, would you think he would be like, come on now. But now you got Mbanye that's coming up. 21, 22 years old, got a long time to be playing. And so that whole GOAT moniker is going to be changing in the next couple of years or so of how he's going. And so you got Ronaldo and Messi, and, you go back and forth with that. You go back and forth with MJ and LeBron. You go back and forth with, Serena and Roger Federer or whoever else. It just is what it is. The sport banter is always something to I enjoy getting into, but the people that's ignorant out there, like I just don't have time because we're living in a time now you can find any kind of information. You can find an answer to just about anything that you want to know. But when people just want to troll and get online and just say the weirdest stuff and all that different stuff, I'm like, listen, if you've never been there and you don't know how that operates, and I'm trying to tell you how that operates, I don't care how it makes you feel. Like, you've never been there, you don't know how it operates. You don't understand. Don't they get fined for ejections and technicals? Yeah, but you also don't know. The NBA players say, "Sure, she didn't get that money back."
Right.
I was with the Bucks. They had me clean up my locker. Different fan mail and stuff was everywhere, and I was just gonna throw all the stuff out, and I just happened to gather everything together, and it was a Bulls letter with a Bulls letterhead in it. It was two of them. And one of them was $88,000 check for our NBA licensing, and the other one was like a $35,000 check for. I got fined for something. I think I got kicked out of practice for just frustration, stuff like that. The Bulls fined me money for that or whatever it is, but the Players Association got that money back. It came to the next year, but they sent it in a check, and I just thought it was just fan mail or anything like that. So if you don't understand, people just saying, well, he's losing money in this way. And I'm like, Ben Simmons lost $19 million. Like, he's doing this and that. That's why they saying, he's having mental issues and stuff like that, because that $19 million that they're reporting, they're not going to report that he got it back.
Right. And we never heard of that before.
Exactly. They're in place for that. So it's a little bit different. I go on and, interact with people. I'm just so busy. I know you guys been trying to get me on for a minute. I'm just so busy moving and shaking in different stuff. And sometimes you just got to, digress from being on social media, from all the different weird stuff that's going on. But, I'm just trying to be a regular dude now living and surviving all this crazy mess, man.
Yeah. Well, we so appreciate you
finally
taking the time after like a year.
We've been
trying to get you on here for a year, but I mean, man, we are grateful that
no doubt, definitely honored
to us, and hopefully we can get you on again within a year, though.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, everything is set up a lot better now. We got our podcast that we doing with the.
Promote that. What's going on? Promote that.
It's called In the Side of the Storm. Is me and one of my good friends that I went to college with, George Trice, and Brent Curvey, who's a ex Iowa State football player. So they just thought of putting us together, just sit and talk about football games, and now we're in the basketball season, talking about the basketball games and things like that. Just really an unbiased opinion about what's going on. Just talking, and we have great chemistry and things like that, and just trying to build that pod up more and more, getting more listeners and stuff like that, just with the Iowa State fan base and the fan base that extends on the outside of Iowa as well. So it's new. I think we've been doing it for about 2.5 months now. So, it's very exciting to be. We got our little microphone and stuff in place, got little sponsors and stuff that's coming in, buying little things and stuff like that. So hopefully one day we'd be like you guys are like Joe Budden, huh?
What's it called again?
In the Side of the Storm.
In the eye?
Sigh. So it's like the eye, but the cyclone is play on words.
C-Y-E. Iowa State Cyclones.
Right.
Gotcha.
Right.
In the side.
So
that's
clever. That's dope.
That's clever.
So it's on Apple, it's on Spotify. No podcast. Hold on, I can look it up and so we're just trying to stand it out a little bit more. Oh, that's not supposed to be that loud. So that's I know there's
yep.
There's another one out there.
Yep.
That's dope. That's clever. That's real clever.
We definitely gonna check it out and support
you. Appreciate that. Appreciate that.
Let us know, so we can follow and promote and support your son, because every exposure opportunity is always great.
Absolutely.
Rico actually just texted me and said,
right now,
brother, what's going
that's
on?
That's my guy. Like Rico was one of those. Rico was one of those guys that went through some stuff. He's from Chicago kid. A lot of accolades that was given to other people probably was supposed to be given to him. So, he was coming through a lot of different stuff, but you talk about a score, you talk about a battler. We used to battle at hoops, and I mean, he used to do work. And we used to always try to figure a way, like, man, some NBA team can use him without a doubt. So we've always had a close relationship wherever I'm in Chicago. If I see him somewhere else that's playing and things like that. So that's definitely my guy for sure. Shout out to Rico for sure.
All right. So shout out Rico. I think
So
Rico
we had one question before we let you go in the chat. Like, since you said you're a big NFL fan too, like, are you a Lions fan?
No, I'm
Lions.
Oh, thank God.
I'm
Lions.
I'm more of a Saints fan. You know, growing up in
Orleans,
other half of Louisiana, my life. You know, Saints fan. No, not. I mean, the organization in Detroit is just. It's been different since, you know, Barry decided to walk away from it.
Yeah.
You know, whatever internally that was going on. I mean, they've been playing well. I don't know about the up and up.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's just you get to a part of a season where, you know, the more dominant teams are either tired and sore. You know,
dialing it back.
I mean, come on now. So no disrespect, right? No disrespect. Not to take anything from them. They got a great quarterback who can really spin the ball. So, without a doubt, you know, give them the props and everything like that. But it's gonna start heating up again. So, but mainly, I'm a big Tom Brady fan without a doubt. But you know, the Saints is home. Yeah. I'm not a fan of his 40 time, but you know, when you're he's talking about the football GOAT, he's definitely the GOAT. He's that, you know, once in a generation player that really knows how to get it done. I mean, he's 45, for God's sake. He's not gonna make any mistake. He had one ACL tear, which somebody fell back on him. He didn't do that scrambling because he knows that pocket, and so he does it at a high level. That's why he's the GOAT. That's why he got as many championships, and that's why he's made it to some that he hadn't won. So without a doubt, Saints is definitely my home team. So I got a lot of family members that are Cowboy fans, you know, from Louisiana. So we go back and forth with that all the time.
It's great to be a Michigan Wolverine.
I root for the Bears too. I root for the Bears.
I was going to say, like, the Bears, like, how do you feel about them possibly? I mean, more than likely, finally having a freaking quarterback after like
don't trade him. Don't trade him. Don't trade him.
Ain't nobody trading him unless they're gonna get free.
I mean, it was you know, people were saying like his rookie year and stuff like that. This is not the best. I mean, you got to give him time to develop. Look at Jalen Hurts. Look at Jalen Hurts. Like they
mirror images almost, right?
Perfect image.
Except he's bigger and faster.
He's bigger and faster, yeah.
Bigger and faster. So you gotta allow them time to grow and get you know, I don't care how dynamic LeBron was his rookie year. That third or fourth year, you didn't want to see him. You know, once he understood, you didn't want to see him. Kobe was terrible his rookie year. You know, that third or fourth year, you did not want to see him. So it's just Steph. You know, Steph came in shooting a lot of shots, whatever. At third or fourth year, those, you know, unanimous MVPs, you did not want to see him. You got to let you got to allow them to grow in their position and be patient with them. Don't act like we done won, you know, 10 championships in a row and you know, he just come in and now we suck. Look at the quarterbacks we just had before him, you know. So whatever the case is, he's shown that he has that moxie to be, you know, QB1. Build around that. You just got to build around that.
They're going to be doing this offseason.
They better.
They're going to be doing that.
They better. So they got, you know, everybody wanted Matt Nagy going, and now he's gone.
Matt Nagy is a swear word on this podcast.
Oh, come on, Frank.
I got to put $1 in that swear jar. Damn it.
He drafted him, though, didn't he?
He did. And as horrible as he was, he got us a quarterback.
He drafted him because he felt that pressure on his neck.
What?
So he had to.
I mean, who else at that spot, at that pick, was he thinking about?
Well, he had to trade up to get him.
Yeah, he traded up a first round pick to
but trading up to that spot, who else was he thinking about getting?
Well, with that we don't know because the rumor was they were going to get Mac Jones. That was the
Mac
rumor.
Jones, the one and only.
That was the rumor.
No,
and we were like,
he got his ass mushed.
Please don't.
They have like a little thing on YouTube, which is like 30 minutes long of just like the pre-draft breakdown, all that type stuff. And like literally they were all in the meeting room. Nobody expected Fields to drop that far. At least in the Bears.
I didn't either. Right.
Nobody expected Fields.
Most people say he should have went to the Jets or 49ers.
Yeah. 2 or 3, yeah.
Well, thank God he did.
Thank God, yeah.
Well, now he is a Chicago Bear.
You're right.
No.
And my young fella Brock Purdy, shout out to Brock Purdy out in the 49ers land.
Absolutely.
Hey, Brock doing his thing, right?
I mean, he knows how to play. You know, he definitely
has become the setter too, right?
He's the GOAT. He's the football GOAT for sure. He just know how to play. He's not going to do anything out of his element. They already got talent. Should they get rid of Trey Lance and take them picks?
They gave up too much draft capital.
They can get a lot of it back.
With that kind of talk, you got to come back. You got to come back with that kind of talk.
We got to come back.
Yeah,
we got to come back.
With it.
Yeah, you do.
Now you're opening up minds.
I'm with it.
Talk some football. Where does Jimmy Garoppolo fit in all this?
He's just gonna go somewhere.
Well, I mean, he was going to be out. He was going to be going this year until Trey got injured. You know, and Jimmy can play. Like
he's a good player. Yeah.
He's a good player. You can't knock that. Everybody's not going to be Josh Allen, and you just don't have those those type players like Ben Roethlisberger. I mean, they 6'4", 6'5", 250. You can't hardly tackle them. Can't get them down, and they can throw the ball that hard. It's just straight cheat code.
Justin Fields is the human cheat code this year.
Right. Let him cook. Let him do what he gonna do, and we see what he got. Let's put something around that. Let's get a better line that's gonna, if they can sit him in the pocket for a little while. If that collapse, he's gone. We're gonna get some players that can run good routes and stuff like that. And once the defense turn their back, you got 4-3, 4-4 coming up your back. You don't even see running past you. So you got to think. You got to think in terms of that. Yeah, sometimes it's not sexy, but
it's crazy how you said defense too, because it made when we played Philly the last week, they put up a stat that I didn't realize this. Philly was dead last in defense last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they're number 1 this year.
Yeah. And they record shows.
I was just like, holy crap.
The record shows.
They also have 7 free agents that they picked up in 2 drafts.
Yeah, but we have $123 million in salary cap. So we're going to be getting that too.
Hopefully.
Exactly. Yeah, that's all we can
hope
on.
You got to spend the money. You got to spend the money. You got to.
Yeah.
You got to. I mean, shit, you can't take it to your grave. I mean, spend the money. I mean,
yeah,
he traded all.
And no kudos for savings. This ain't a fiscal thing. Like we got to spend.
Yeah,
you got to spend that shit wisely.
It's the most exciting losing season we've ever had as a Bear fan. Because we got a quarterback, we got a top 3 pick, and we got a lot of money next year.
He might just be the most exciting player in football.
Yeah, he's really dynamic. He's really dynamic. I love watching him play. It's just like we said, him, Jalen Hurts. Like you just don't know. You turn your back, he gone, and you're not catching him.
Yeah,
you're not catching.
And you said it perfectly. Like he's bigger, he's stronger, he's faster. Right. People try to sack Fields, and he's gone still.
Well,
y'all remember how excited everybody was to watch Michael Vick play?
Yeah,
man,
that is this.
Yeah,
times 10.
People forget Mike. With Lamar Jackson, and he's definitely dynamic too. But people forget Mike. Mike was.
Yeah.
But see, so we around the same age, Marcus, and I tell people this: if you were to say Lamar was comparable to Vic or the evolution of Vic, I say Justin was the evolution of Randall Cunningham with the elusiveness, the 4.4 speed. They both 6'4".
Right.
Just a little more beefier. You couldn't tell me.
He
had the longest arm in the league. He threw about 80 yards in the air.
Mm-hmm.
In the air. That's what I'm like.
Yeah, he got that longer stride.
Yeah.
Mike and Lamar's is way shorter. Way shorter. And with that big stride, they get out and go. They get out and go.
That acceleration is just
Yeah. Of course, it's not Tyreek Hill type acceleration, but shit.
There's very few that's like that.
Right.
That's just unnatural. That dude is just.
He a video game in real life, but it's okay.
For sure. Well, yeah, I love just hit me up anytime for sure. I don't know if you guys got my cell phone number or just social media, whatever.
I'm gonna hit you up on. I'm gonna hit you up on IG.
Okay.
And, we can chop it up, and I can get that from you because we definitely gonna have you back because we're gonna talk some football.
We can. I think we're gonna do a show on the 22nd.
Okay.
This week we're gonna do a show on the 22nd, and then our next show is gonna be next week after.
So you got bowl season.
Baylor.
So, bowl season coming up.
Right. We just going through, just talking. I mean, with basketball, there's so many games in between. We just play like, McNick State and then some other small schools. So we skip a couple weeks. I mean, we're gonna talk about teams that we beat by 48 points. So we trying to let some games pass by, and then from like the 22nd, from the 22nd to like the 2nd, some crazy like 10 days. I don't know who put together that schedule, but they got 10 days off before we open up with Baylor in Big 12 conference. The most ridiculous shit ever. Like that's coaching
thing. That much off for Christmas break?
I never got no time off. Like 3 years in college, I was never home for Thanksgiving or Christmas.
Right? Yeah.
So I think that's Coach TJ trying to be cool with the players or whatever, let them spend time with your family. But shit, this is the Big 12. Big 12. Like we were like 11-1 or something like that, 12-1 last year before the Big 12 started.
Right,
then we started 0-8 in the Big 12. Like you can't be doing that going into the Big 12 conference. So
State game.
So we got a lot of time. I got a lot of free time next week. Just hit me up, and I'm able to sit down. I pretty much make my own schedule, what I do business wise and stuff. So I'm around. Just send me a message and we'll get together.
All right, bet. That sounds good to me. All right, Marcus.
Been a pleasure, Feather.
Appreciate
Get ready for that blizzard, man.
Don't remind me, man.
Let me know how it go.
In my way around.
God bless.
All right, man. Later.
Damn, dude said, get ready for that.
What an awesome dude, man. What an awesome dude, man.
Talk about well worth the wait.
Yeah,
definitely.
Absolutely.
That was
Didn't
well
know he
worth
knew so
that
much about
year
football,
wait.
Too, no?
That
get
year-long wait.
Too.
Yeah, man. And that was impressive. He spanned over soccer, tennis, basketball,
all around sports fanatic right there, man.
I was like, damn, okay.
He didn't bring up hockey though. Why not my Wayne Gretzky, dude?
No, don't nobody.
Wayne Gretzky and Alexander Ovechkin, who just hit 800.
Yeah, so but I do want to learn a little more about hockey, and I'm glad we got Frank the Tank because he could help us. Speaking of hockey, well, I'll leave that for the shout outs. I ain't gonna spoil it yet. But yeah, so Marcus was a great guest. I'm kind of bummed that Marty couldn't make it, but I guess because of weather.
We'll try again. We'll try again.
Will we? Yeah. maybe we will. Maybe we'll try again, Marty, Mr. Marty. Yeah, but shit, we might as well go ahead and get into some shout outs, man, because shit, we've been running our mouth.
We could have just brought Marcus on for the first, right away. He could have been on for the whole show.
Yeah. Well, now I know. Next time we talk to him, he will be on the whole show.
For sure.
Yep. All right, so why don't you go ahead and kick it off, Frank the Tank?
All right, shout outs. Marcus, thank you for coming on. Great insight on multiple different sports, like Terrence was talking about. It's impressive. Chat was lit today. Finally, it was so quiet.
It was lit again. Yeah.
On fire today. So, James First Class, the first time I've seen him on here.
That's my cousin.
Okay, hey, welcome. Antonio, always chiming in. Anthony was on a lot earlier as well. Can never forget about the mom of the podcast. Thank you, Miss Sandra, for coming on. We expected you to come on.
So this is better music this time.
You gotta play that for your ass.
Yeah, right. Other than that, hey, you four always happy to have you on. Foul happy you're feeling better. I was able to watch the podcast last week again. I swear to God, dude, when you are not,
you showed it.
It has to be just your name being foul mouth or something like that. It automatically doesn't let it on.
Well, you can cancel it this week. You ain't watching shit this week.
Other than that, it's all I got. Next.
Foul mouth.
I want to thank, shout out to everybody in the chat. Chat was lit tonight. So great job, guys. And always remember, people out there, to like and subscribe to the Chicago Clubhouse podcast. I want to thank all our sponsors. In the Zone, Moore's Beer, Under Armour. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to my three brothers here. T. Nick, Frank the Tank, and JB. Shout out to the mom of the podcast, JB's mom. Thank you for thank you for being concerned about my health. I appreciate it. I truly do appreciate that. Shout out to our special guest today, Marcus Fizer, who not only knows basketball but is well diverse in football and soccer.
Damn.
Yeah, definitely gotta have that brother on. That was very enlightening, and let us know about a lot of shit. Like, didn't know that the Bulls didn't even bring him in, but Tim Floyd drafted him in.
I didn't know that either.
No,
where the hell that come from? Thanks, Tim Floyd. Let me see. Shout out to the kiddies. They ass should be sleek. My two kiddies that's in Alabama, they damn sure should be sleek.
They ain't on break.
Huh? Not yet. Not yet. They go on break Thursday, I believe. Yeah, the kiddies here go to break on Thursday. I think my other daughters go on break maybe tomorrow or some shit.
Okay.
Other than that, shit. Am I missing anybody or anything? Oh, shout out to all of Chicago. Let's get prepared for this bullshit that's about to come. I got my 4-wheel drive.
Thank you,
I'm done.
I appreciate it.
I'm done.
JB.
Well, first and foremost, shout out to that lady that you just popped up. Shout out to moms, always. P1. She never gonna miss a day. Long as we on air, she gonna be on. Hey man, the chat was like it used to be, and I love it. Shout out to and I'm gonna do my best. Shout out to Aunt Stewart. Shout out to Bellissimo, all the way from overseas.
Oh, Bellissimo, I forgot about him.
Yeah.
He's been
and
out
Johnson, you know what I'm saying, chiming in. Juanita Marty chiming in. We had a whole bunch of my man Bullets, my brother from another chiming in. Adam Dobbs, a new guy chiming in. We love to see that. We love that. Keep interacting with us, man. We do this for you. Vernon Fairley, welcome back, Vernon. We haven't seen you in a while. My cousin James First Class, you know what I'm saying? That's family. Anytime we got family coming in, love to see that. Antonio Conchola, welcome. Thank you. Our Spectre, welcome back. Good to see you. And we just like, all I have to say with that is we do this. We can sit up at a bar and talk shit about football and nobody would care.
Pay a lot of money for drinks too.
You know what I'm saying? I buy around, you buy around, Chris buy around. We can do that all day. But we do this because we know there's people out there that appreciate what we do, how we do it, and we're going to keep doing it. So thank you. Continue to like and subscribe to the Chicago Clubhouse Podcast and the Chicago Clubhouse Network. And that's all I got.
Yeah, I'm gonna say y'all ass want some water. I'm your man.
Yes, shout out to Mike Hughes. He's pretty dope too.
Yeah, it's been a while since
It's
Mike's
me. Oh yeah.
He shouted out to himself on the chat.
You'll take it. Shout out to Marcus Fizer for damn shit. Can't wait to get that brother back on. That's all I got, T.
All right. So
Here we go.
I ain't gonna say all the names from the chat because JB already said all of them, but shout out to everybody in the chat. We appreciate y'all. Even the ones who did not say anything, you are officially lurkers, but we appreciate y'all anyway because you watch our foolishness. So thank you.
Getting down with that violin. Getting down with
That's
that
all
violin.
long in the mud.
That's a long ass violin, dog.
Hey, you lucky I ain't Wednesday Adams in this motherfucker.
Big shout to Marcus Fizer, man. He was awesome.
Yes,
awesome guest. Like Frank said, he talked about everything. He talked about behind the scenes stuff that we would have had no idea. You know, so and to get his thoughts about point guards and shooting guards, and you know, it was great. It was great. So glad to have Marcus on. Can't wait to have him on again. We can actually talk a little football, which he said was his favorite sport.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, he probably got really good insight about that. So I can't wait to talk to him. Like I said earlier, I'm a little bummed that Marty didn't make it. But I guess we'll try again at some point. Shout out to the sponsors, as Foulmouth said earlier. So I ain't gonna go over that again. Christmas. It's about to be Christmas.
Ho, ho, ho.
On Sunday, yeah.
Pause.
Ho, ho.
Pause. Ho, ho, ho.
It ain't no pause because somebody in the chat is ho. No, I'm just kidding.
Damn.
Yeah, it was just a joke. It was just a joke. But anyway, yeah, it's about to be Christmas on Sunday. Gonna get snowed in because we're supposed to have a blizzard. Shout out to Mother Nature on that. And the last shout out, of course, my pops. Shout out to Pops. And he is progressing. He's definitely progressing. Yeah, he was able to eat food.
Nice.
And yeah, he's getting stronger, and we're all really happy about that. So thank everybody for the concern, prayers. We still need your prayers, but God seems to be answering them. So we appreciate all of that. All of that. So I think that being said, anybody have
it's before you go, something that we forgot to do to everybody out there watching, because we won't be able to do it to you guys. So we want to wish you all a Merry Christmas.
Definitely Merry Christmas to everyone. Definitely Merry Christmas.
JB's mom said Merry Christmas, so then that reminded me. I said, damn, we won't be on before Christmas.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Our next show is after the Tuesday after.
Yep. Yeah. So Merry Christmas to everybody, to all you Jehovah's Witnesses and people that don't celebrate Christmas. Happy holidays. Shit, did I say that?
You did. Like,
hey, shit.
You got to decide whether you're a wolf or a sheep.
Who was the sheep in the previous game? I think it was Velvet. Velvet was the sheep. And Velvet is going to be the sheep that's going to get cut. This has been a Chicago Clubhouse Network production.
could be a Jehovah's Witness.
Hey, shout out to CDOT, Chicago Department of Transportation. We need y'all to clean this up.
You're still here. It's over. Go home.
Shout out to Mayor Lloyd Lightfoot. Shout out to Mayor. We need you, Mayor. We may not like you that much, but we need you.
Beetlejuice.
Oh,
We out.